Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. North American stock futures mostly lower this morning. We were mixed when I first sat down, but back to the downside here as the market awaits the final results of two Senate runoff elections in Georgia. The first already being called for Democratic candidate Raphael Warnock, while the second between Democrat Jon Ossoff and Republican David Perdue. Still too close to call. We'll keep an eye on that. If both Democrats were to win in Georgia, that would mean a 50-50 tie in the Senate, leaning more towards the Democratic side, with Vice President-elect Kamala Harris being the tiebreaker in that sense, paving the way for President-elect Joe Biden to possibly have an easier pass to get his policy ideas through. Tuesday, we saw all U.S. indexes, all three major U.S. indexes in positive territory once again, even as traders continue to monitor global COVID-19 cases that continue to spike. Not good numbers coming out of Europe again this morning, and also throughout the U.S. and Canada yesterday. Individually this morning, we're watching cannabis names, the group trading higher. Banks very strong as well. We'll talk about that. The recent very volatile Fubo TV shares back on watch. A couple of upgrades for Fubo this morning, and Tesla back in record high territory once again. It's Wednesday, January 6, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. There we go. Look at Asian markets from the overnight session. Yeah, pretty mixed right across the board here. We had Australia, Japan, India, and the Nifty in India to the downside, Korea as well, while Shanghai and Hong Kong were higher. Let's go over to Europe, see how things are shaping up so far. Positive numbers here. England leading the way, 2.8%. You can see Italy nicely higher, both the Swiss market and Sweden to the downside. We'll shift over one more time. Have a look at North American futures once again. The NASDAQ down 1.2%. We'll talk about big tech names leading the sell-off today. The Dow basically flat. We have the S&P lower as well. The TSX futures here in Toronto, 0.2%. Brazil's open trading higher. Bitcoin another 2.6% to the upside, all-time highs. Crude is negative, and gold back in positive territory as well. We had the ADP private payrolls number out this morning, guys. The first decline in that number since April. So private payrolls declining for the first time in April. Again, COVID cases, the story here, but all eyes on Georgia as we head towards the open this morning.
Yeah, I mean, certainly we talked about this and most of those catalysts already pushing towards sort of leaning to that 50-50 split, as you mentioned, being the outcome. You're seeing cannabis names up a ton, 10% moves in some of the bigger names here. So we'll be definitely tracking those EV names. Finally getting some movement, or at least a little bit more movement in a little bit of the clean energy space. So that should be interesting to follow along with today. The two catalysts when it comes to the banks. It's been a long time since we've even said the word treasuries around here, but the 10-year over that 1% mark, you can't sleep on how sort of a big psychological level that is. You're seeing all of the banks up across the board, of course, when they had the ability after those stress tests for at least the top tier banks to get back to the buybacks. This is just another positive catalyst for that. And then maybe seeing some more stimulus. I mean, there is so much in terms of themes to talk about today. You could go off helter-skelter. It's a good thing we got the full hour before the market opens here, Sean, to go over some of this. And I can't wait to hear Mark's views on some of these themes.
And where's Wee Batman? There it is. Yeah, we see a big celebration yesterday. We talked about Canopy, and you guys know we were trading this thing $26. You wake up today and you get a nice little 30 handle on this. So what's up, everybody out there? Thank you for joining us once again here today. Hopefully we'll be able to get you some winners today. And if not winners, at least we can have some fun and talk a little bit about these stocks and share your ideas on the chat. And again, guys, welcome to the show, and thanks for watching, and thank you for continuing to support it. I like CGC, man, today up 10, 11%. Like, we're going to be trading this one. We're going to be trading Afria. We'll talk about some key levels when we get back and we cover these, but they're all on our watch list. Afria up 10.2% again. Oh, I'm on a new software, so shout out to our IT team. All three of us are. So hopefully we get some quick movements here in the stocks. And then TLRY, of course, Tilray, another name here merging with Afria. So This one up 17%, 16.1%. So if you're in the marijuana space today, you're pretty happy with this Senate runoff. And yeah, look, I think it's a good thing. The more power that they can have for the Democrats, if you're a fan of those policies, then yeah, like Neil said, they'll get pushed through a little easier now. So I'm thinking clear skies ahead now, even for some Chinese names as well there. So bank regulations, everything banks. I mean, look at JP Morgan, guys. We will talk about big banks in a minute, but I mean, just to talk about another stock that's flying, JP Morgan and Bank of America, Wells Fargo as well. Look at JPM, man. We're at 130 right now. A nice little 2.75% move there on JPM. So yeah, I'm pretty jacked up, and we got some stuff on the sticky note there. Oh, you can't see it. We got some stuff on the sticky note. We'll get to that soon.
Speaking of cannabis, just saw a note on Aurora, ACB. There's looks like a holdings company purchasing a large chunk of shares. We'll talk about that in a second. Before we get into that, though, let's get over to the desk and say good morning to Valeria.
Good morning, Brandon, and hey guys, I wish you all a very profitable day. Please don't forget to hit thumbs up so we can get as many likes as possible. Let's get it started, Brandon.
Let's indeed get it started, guys. I'll show you this note to kick things off here. Sino Splendid Holdings, if we could show, there we go. Sino Splendid Holdings acquiring 70,000 Aurora Cannabis shares. That just came out at 8:30 there, so we'll, I mean, ACB's up anyways with the rest of the group, but another little catalyst there to add to the fun for ACB. We'll start things off with the top 10 traders, as we like to do here from Day Trade the World yesterday. Yeah, number one, 89,000 coming out of both the U.S. and Canada. TSX making an appearance there. OTC pink sheets as well. Number two, 54,000, Amex and NASDAQ. Got to go all the way down to number 8 before we get away from 5 figures. Hong Kong futures and Singapore, guys, making an appearance on this list. So another great day for traders here at Day Trade the World. So this Sino Holdings getting in on the cannabis play here, buying up 70,000 shares of Aurora Cannabis, guys, I guess ahead of what could possibly come later on this morning.
Yeah, I was just about to pull up the chart of ACB, and Sean jinxed things, man. Either way, it's actually leading things already. This was sort of, Brendan mentioned that coming out at 8:30. You know, it was already leading the way. I mean, CGC we just showed was up 10, just shy of 11%, and ACB Aurora up here 18%. Of course, tracking it here on New York. I kind of feel like like Sean, I'm going to prefer CGC, and I'll probably dip into some Sundial today. ACB on that news. I would have thought that maybe there'd be a little bit of a spike, but I think one was already extended further. Maybe somebody knew a little bit of something. It is getting a bump up now to that 20% mark. If I feel like I'm making a top or testing a top in one of these today, I kind of feel like it's going to be ACB the way that it is running, and the fact that it did not jump on that news at 8:30 kind of leads me down that path. So, you know, that's my first sort of take on ACB. Probably going to stay on the bullish side of CGC today, and you know what we're likely to do with Sundial. I was dabbling a little bit in that one today, and it showed some weakness already, which the way I kind of look at it is it's also up 20%, Sundial and ACB, much farther ahead of the CGC, and it's just easier to fade the ones that have had a little bit more juice to it, you know, and if you can get a better price on the one you already liked, that's probably going to end up having to be Canopy.
Wow, so I'm in this True Leave, which, wow, I was just double checking my portfolio here, and yes, we still got some of this stock. Yeah, True Leave today, going to be a big one. It's also TCNEFF, I believe, on pink sheets, but this is another big one. Let's check out GRWG. We talked about these names here in the marijuana space. Grow Generation Brands right here, kicking it. There you go. Yeah, see now, Neil, yeah, I jinxed myself. My chart didn't change there as well. But GRWG, $40. We're long this one, $16, $17. So that's a good play. And then FYI, position, oh, that changed pretty good, but then the chart didn't. Position alert right now, we're long DraftKings right now, breaking through 50. So let's see if this one can go up. We are long now, DraftKings. You can see at the bottom, 50.05 right here. A little early position, but I'm willing to hold this one all day. I think DraftKings goes now, especially, again, with the Democrats in play. This is just another name that can go here. So I love DraftKings at these levels, guys. I hope you pick some up, and we talked about it in the 40s.
Yeah, a little bit of news coming out of New York State as well when it comes to both DraftKings and Penn National. We'll talk about that coming up. Let's bring in Mark Roberts, president of Sun Lake Strategies, to have a discussion on your thoughts, Mark. Good morning, first of all, but a busy day ahead. We already have one seat decided. The possibility of a second seat to come here from a macro scale, kind of higher look here. From the overall market, what do we need to be aware of going into this morning?
Let's assume it's one win, one loss for the Democrats. Either way, Mr. Biden gets an extra leg up. I have been investing in infrastructure for a long time, whether it's VMC, Alcoa, whether it's Caterpillar, whether it's other stocks like U.S. Steel. All of these will continue to do extremely well. So whether it's the one seat or potentially the two seats, infrastructure should be here for the foreseeable future.
Also, on a more individual group type of basis, we obviously know about cannabis stocks. They've been talked about to death. Is there any other sector, maybe clean energy, that we should be aware of on both sides of the scale if both seats go Democratic, or, as you said, one win, one loss?
Yeah, the TAN is the ETF for the solar. That should be watched. Otherwise, NOVA, RUN in the solar space on the individual names, Enphase, ENPH. There's so many of them, but on balance, clean tech will do well, marijuana stocks will do well, infrastructure stocks will do well. And my guess is the sleeper may be financials. They may pick up more steam as well. And
we're seeing strength right across the board this morning in the banking group already. Not necessarily related here to this runoff election, but big move in oil yesterday, big move in energy stocks right across the board. OPEC maintaining current levels as far as production going forward. Thoughts on the energy space here going into the open? Is there one or two that stood out to you yesterday?
Oxy did well, Hess, HES did well, Chevron. The sleeper, which is a very big European name, is BP. That's done extremely well. And if you want to move back into the metals, BHP has done extremely well. So you've got a tremendous amount of names that should push this stock market higher after this uncertainty period over the second seat.
There's a little bit of underlying strength coming through once again this morning, it seems, in some Chinese names. Alibaba, not one of them. They come out this morning talking about an offering up to $5 billion. Could be the largest as far as the U.S. is concerned. Is there any further inclination to look to Alibaba to the upside, or is there other names we should be paying attention to? We saw Pinduoduo doing very well. We saw JD.com doing very well over the past couple of sessions.
I would stick with those names. On balance, Alibaba still has a lot of work to do, and we still don't know where Jack Ma is.
They did find him, apparently, but he's lying low, whatever that means. But at least Jack Ma is safe. But yeah, a weakness this morning in Alibaba versus what we saw yesterday, though.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I still believe that this stock is a sail on rallies.
Great stuff, Mark. We'll bring in Neil and Sean here and continue the discussion.
Thank you.
Hello, Jack. Oh yeah, how's it going, Jack? Yeah. All right, so you're fine? All right, we'll talk after. All right, see you. All right, sorry about that, Mark. There, I was just on a call with someone pretty important there, but we can talk about that later. Look, I'm really super excited for a pick that I've made a long time ago, and I know that we were talking about it before. And let's get out the basketballs because it's NBA season now, and I'm going to lead right into DraftKings because again today, Mark, we're seeing this up $50 to $50 off of some beautiful lows in the 40s. I've already gone long here, breaking through 50, and I took out 20% of the trade as we preach risk management right here. So in at 50, out a little bit at 50 quarter right now. We're at 50.30. You know what? Like DraftKings to me is the play. If you go to a daily chart here, I'll just call this up real quick for us. we had those bottoms down in the 40s. We talked about 35 if we were really lucky to get down long down here in the 35 area, but a nice little drop down to 44, breaking out now. I see sort of clear skies ahead here. I mean, the news today is, I'm sure you're familiar, Cuomo there looking to allow betting through the apps and whatnot and sort of loosening some of the strings in probably the biggest market. I mean, New York, you know, the gambling scene there probably is ferocious. Lots of teams, lots of things happening in New York. So what do you think about DraftKings moving forward here as it looks like? I got to fix my charts. I don't know why I have VWAP on this daily chart, but I like it moving to the upside here. DraftKings, your opinion, Mark?
Let's take a step back for a minute. If you look on the macro side of this,
Yeah.
you have states and localities that need funding. And because that's going to be an open issue for the new Congress, whether they fund these with a more democratic bias, if they can't get it through, they'll get it through with online betting.
Right.
They'll get it through with marijuana. Both of those are the trades. So whether you pick DraftKings, whether you pick the other one I watch
Penn.
is, I think it's EVRI,
Okay.
GAN, and Penn.
Yep.
Pick your name. That group will do well. Your marijuana stocks you were talking about earlier will do well.
Yeah, we like that, and I think that some of the other reopening stocks, like a Peloton, probably going the other way, and some of these valuations getting a little crazy. But here's Penn as well for our viewers, only up today that 3% as opposed to DraftKings. Just for our viewers, I think DraftKings is a little more exciting because of maybe the lower value on DraftKings. But of course, Penn has that crazy guy, Dave Portnoy, all over there, Davey Day Trader, involved with Penn as well in Barstool Sports. So I'll throw you over to Neil, but that's a good talk as yes, Mark, DraftKings even going higher right now as we see 50-50 right here. So that's a nice little 50-cent win. So we will punch DraftKings in the face now, as it's been a big morning for us already here on this name. Mark, thank you very much, my friend, and I'll DM you where Mr. Ma is.
Mark's got to know. You mentioned GAN there. I like that name. The other day when DraftKings was pulling back a little bit and Penn was following suit, GAN actually managed to hold up for a little bit. I like it to potentially break up. But I want to talk to you about U.S. Steel because you mentioned this. Sort of going into the final month of the year. On the show here, we're talking about infrastructure and possibly playing that out. And this 10-11 break was fantastic. It gave you a couple of legs to the upside. I'm looking at this pullback that we had off of 20, right? And we're basically you're up another 5% today. We still haven't got the results ultimately. Now I feel like infrastructure is probably there's still a chance that something gets done almost regardless of the outcome here. So likely we push into 20. I just feel like from the short-term side, are we actually going to push through that in the next couple of days when we might not get a resolution soon? I'm kind of leaning towards no, but I'd love to hear your thoughts there because I feel like if you didn't already get in at 10 or at 15, maybe you might have a chance to be able to wait on U.S. Steel a little bit here, or just wait for an actual break of 20.
The answer is yes, but if you're looking to get involved, buy a small piece on a little bit of a dip, trade it because when you're in it, you'll focus on it. If you're going to just keep it on your blotter and not do anything, it probably gets away from you. But infrastructure is definitely going to be a major selling point in this new Congress. How it gets played, there's 100 different ways, but the majors are the easiest and the most liquid.
And sort of down this line of thinking, if we just sort of jump back to the banks, and I'm going to quickly let's throw Morgan Stanley because obviously we can do. It doesn't really matter which of these names we pick, but let's just throw Morgan up here. We don't really ever usually talk about the treasury rates, but that 1% on the in the 10-year gets crossed to the upside, and obviously this is not the first positive catalyst that we've seen in the last few weeks for the top banks, and certainly to be able to come back with the buybacks being in play, as you mentioned a little bit earlier. Now, this is another theme where a lot of this maybe, if you think is being priced in, the results, I tend to believe you can still buy the highs on these because I feel like they're going to fare a little bit better if this doesn't go the other way. Like if you look at like the cannabis sector, which I think, given how far it's extended, has a better chance of pulling back if things go in the other direction the next couple of sessions. Whereas the banks, I don't think that turn's going to be as big because we might actually hold up on the treasuries. They're still going to be able to do the buyback. So the positive wins for that 2 out of 3 are probably going to still be in play for the banks. No?
Yeah, there's two things that tend to happen in 2021. My guess is rates will go considerably higher than where they are now on the 10-year, and inflation will reignite in some form. It's just a matter of time. So between those two items, very beneficial for the banks. I tend to go toward Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley. JP Morgan is my third choice, and the underlier, if you will, would be Wells Fargo near the bottom. But I prefer the broker on the financial side versus the pure bank. That's just me.
Okay, definitely that's what we love having the takes on here. I always try to put you on the spot here, but are there any regional banks that you feel can be a value? Maybe you've looked at it, or maybe if you can just email us and just let us know your thoughts on that, because I don't know anything. There was I think it's like Silver Lake, and then they're involved in the crypto space, and they're an interesting name for that reason. But you kind of feel like that has to rising tides are going to lift all ships, and at some point there should be some juice there in 2021. I just don't know any particular names in my end that I've been able to see that look interesting to me, but I'm just curious your thoughts.
One I have watched for quite a while is SIVB, which is SVB Financial, based out of Santa Clara, California. It's a $20 billion market cap. That's one that I liked in the regional area, but I'll email you a list of regional banks.
Thank you so much, Mark. I mean, I can't wait to go through it and just sort of look. There's so many themes that are coming into this year, and we were talking about that, just mentioning off the opening of the show, that it's a good time to have a look at some of the some of the spaces that we've probably ignored as short-term traders throughout the second half of 2020, because the movement is coming. You're seeing energy go crazy. I mean, the crypto again. 35,000 we're sitting here in Bitcoin, so it should be a good one. Mark, as always, I want to thank you so much. Sean, if he does find out where Jack is, I'm sure he'll email you. He's got the direct line to him over there on the bat phone.
The one thing I don't want to tell you is I'm finding where profits lie, because Mark, I don't know if it was Sun Lake, if it was us, who it was here, but DraftKings right now up 8% and just ripping, man. I want to say congratulations to all the viewers and to anybody that's long DraftKings right here, Mark. We're long at 50. It's 51.40 right now, so we rang the register a little bit. We're still 40% long, but Mark, once again, thank you so much. We look forward to all your notes as per usual, and you've been a fantastic guest, and we'll continue that as well. So thank you for the relationship and all the information. We'll throw it back to Brendan.
Real quick, Mark, before we go, thoughts on this ADP private employee number this morning? I mean, the big government number comes on Friday, obviously, but this was a bit of a miss, and the first one since April on these terms.
It's very, very hard to get your hand around or your arm around what's going on with employment. You've got so many people hurting out there. The statistics are awful. I don't know if this is a lag number or not, but between the second and third strains of this virus hitting globally, I think these numbers are going to be erratic for the next 3-4 months. So while I'm sad to see numbers not be strong and stable, if you will, I just see more volatility ahead. So I'm putting less credence on some of the numbers that I normally would love.
Yeah, and not much of a reaction, obviously, from the market when that came out, but a bit of a miss. They did specifically say that most of that came from the retail sector, which under a lockdown and under a pandemic makes a lot of sense. Mark Roberts, president of Sun Lake Strategies, best of luck today. We'll speak again on Friday.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You as well. There we go, guys. We'll jump into what is moving around in the pre-market here and get out your watch list if you haven't done so already. We send it out every single morning in the pre-market before we come on at 8:30. Absolutely free to you. If you haven't done so, sign up for the watch list. Valeria will help you out in the chat if you need that link. Cannabis stocks, all about cannabis stocks today. We mentioned the Democrat runoff race in Georgia. If both seats are won by the Democrats, that would lead to a 50-50 split in the Senate, decided by President or Vice President-elect Kamala Harris would be the tiebreaker there. So cannabis stocks up on that news, guys.
Yeah, and we like the cannabis names. We talked about them yesterday. I've talked about them literally. I mean, you guys know it. So if you're welcome to the show for the first time today or since this week maybe. I've been talking cannabis for a hell of a long time. So yeah, we've been liking these names. I first brought it to all the viewers' attentions, guys, and we can talk about. I'll talk about GRWG or even CGC. We brought this. Unfortunately, CGC is actually not going to be a good one to talk about because it's not on our watch here because it was from New York to NASDAQ. But let's go here on the Toronto name. It's weed.to. It's going to look the same. It just gives me a longer view here. So today you're up to 38 bucks. You're up 11.8%, if not even more. The reason why I want to show you guys this is this. This is the chart of weed. So this is CGC. This is Canopy. We're just looking at the Toronto name right now. I talked about it down here when we saw Kamala Harris talking everything about cannabis and legalization, and we really thought the Democrats had an edge there heading into the election. And if you did think that, this was definitely worth a wild card shot, and now you're doubling from that level, right? So yes, I do like weed, but the reason why I keep talking about Grow Generation brands is because I really think that this name is kind of one of those names that a little bit GRWG, sorry about that, guys. This name is just, it doesn't really rely on, obviously, the sale of marijuana. It's actually the complete opposite. Oh, here we go. Yeah, see, now my charts don't want to load either, although we thought that we were getting a fix today. It's a little bit better. Here we go. Here's GRWG. This is the bottom here back in September, October, when we talked about, I mean, the ultimate bottom was, I mean, you could have picked this thing up in March for $2, but we're not going to talk about March lows. Was right around here, and now you're getting a bump. And again, I just think with the legalization, I think it's a hard name to get into when you're going to see ACB up 18, 19%. But the thing about ACB is it's already been demolished. So you do have ACB over here in New York. It's already gotten killed. If you look at a daily chart of this name, it's reverse split. It's gone up. It's gone down. And, you know, we are just getting back to, I mean, up to $20. You're now back to 11. There was these bottoms. This is what I'm talking about. Our charts don't adjust for the split. So you're really 64 cents down here, and it's just been absolutely destroyed. But we're getting back near some of those levels right now. So I can watch ACB, but again, I don't like the producers as much as I like some of those other plays. I think you got to be in True Leave. We talked about that. TRUL is the name in Canada, and there's a few other good names that we like as well. Tilray and Afria is interesting because they're merging, but I would still say stay with the best. And if it's going to be that, then yeah, it's going to be cannabis names like CGC. So just for today, we'll get rid of the daily chart. There's not much happening on a daily chart. We're already above that since we cracked through $30. So on the daily, though, I like any kind of a break higher. And I just put on the list here. I didn't even write anything down. You see, I just wrote tops. Like whatever CGC is doing on the top side, let's try to figure that out and then see if it wants to break. I still think we could pull back. I don't know, Neil, what's going on, but I think it's going to be 2-0 for the Democrats. So I don't know. Mark said that it looks like 1-1. I don't see that.
I saw the same things. I mean, I was just sort of following along on Twitter with the latest
already had his,
numbers coming through. And I think you're kind of right. It does feel that way, but I mean, I'm not sure what Mark was looking at. It did seem like it was likely for 2-0 there. And then you would get that 50-50 scenario with, of course, Kamala Harris splitting that tie. And then we're certainly holding the highs in some of these names. So we're not reacting as if it's going to be that 1-1, which of course would be a win overall for Republicans. And I think we get that pullback. I am watching Sundial here, and we'll probably talk about that a little bit. I just think, much like Sean said, a couple of names are up 20%, and if I'm going to fade one, I'm going to fade the one on weakness. I'm going to fade the one more overbought. Sundial, I'd much prefer it if it was up at 80, but we're only at 63, which kind of says we have an opportunity for it. I know we've got a few upgrades and downgrades to get to, so let's get to Brennan at the big screen.
Yeah, real quick, guys, a few notable, anyways, upgrades and downgrades to look at. MasterCard on this list today. These credit card companies have had, a bit of a struggle lately, to say the least. Centerpoint, TELUS, and Zillow at the bottom here, 0.6% already. One we haven't talked about for quite some time. Remember PCG or PCG, PG&E, once bankrupt? Power company, First Energy on here, and Ormat as well. But Centerpoint, TELUS, Zillow, guys, on the upgrade side.
Okay. Yeah, I also like, I know a couple names on there as well. I did want to talk about one quickly that I think could go here on some reopen plays, and that's Planet Fitness. I'm probably going to be selling my Peloton stock today. We're long at 116. If it breaks through 140, we're going to get out of that one. And I think I'm going to rotate into Planet Fitness on a reopen here. Hopefully the vaccines get all sorted out. I don't think it's too late to get into a Planet Fitness right now. There are going to be other names here. I got to find out where my daily chart is. Here it is here. Wow. I mean, what a drop from Grace is down here all the way to $24, but they were cruising, really operating well heading into the virus, up to $88, $89. And I think on any kind of reopen play here, Planet Fitness above 80. I just talking, it's not doing any volume, it's only 3,000 shares, but I just want to talk about that as another play because I do see some love here for the GRWG call on the chat. So I just think that Planet Fitness here making a beautiful base down here, $70, $72. You could get a breakthrough, 79, 80 to come, and then 90. Even higher than this just because of hype, right? People want to get in to these names. So I'm looking to get out of Peloton into Planet Fitness, and let's buy more Boeing.
Yeah, I mean, I still see be patient with Boeing, but I mean, you got to at some point you got to get in, and it feels like it's a good value. Just looking at that GAN, I was going to get into this one. It's a thinly traded stock, and we talked about this when it comes to sports betting and these guys providing software solutions for most of the major companies at least. I liked this 20 to 2020 level, but this is what you look at on level 2 here. A 30-cent spread and 40,000 shares worth of volume. So it just sort of bumped up. This is one, for me, you got to wait until the open comes in. But if it does give any kind of a dip and I can defend $20, I'm likely to do that. It's just not a trade at all. I mean, you can certainly swing into it whenever you want, but it's just not going to be a trade in the pre-market for this name. DraftKings, much more liquid.
All right, guys, we'll get to Arun here and have a look at the market. I was just trying to confirm. Yeah, I don't see anything actually called yet as far as the second race is concerned. I still see it 50.2% to 49.8% with 98% of the vote counted. So I don't think anyone has actually called the second race yet, but we'll keep an eye on that when it comes to Georgia. Let's bring in Arun and have a look at the futures here and see what levels we need to be aware of. Could go either way here, Arun, today.
Yeah, that's how the market's been acting overnight too. With the top end, I've got at 37.25 and the bottom at 36.85. We're just kind of bouncing around in there, trying to wait for that second result here, because that does change the game quite a bit, right? You're also noticing, I'm also noticing the big disparity between the two futures contracts, the NASDAQ and the ES. Now, the NASDAQ is down more. There's a 1% difference to the downside for the NASDAQ, and that makes sense with the possibility of more tech regulations and things like that affect the tech sector more. So you're seeing the big disparity there. So I'm just going to keep an eye on the ESs, even though the NASDAQ is moving a lot more. That one's a little harder to read given how wild these the tech stocks do control the NASDAQ market, right? The top 5, I believe, control nearly a third of the index. So for me, the ES futures is where I'm going to be staying. 37.25 on the top end, 36.85 on the bottom. Now, if we break 37.25, there is still overhead. So it's just like yesterday's 10 level that I gave. If it gets above, you do have to wait for it to settle. You do have to wait for it to check. Make sure there's enough buying to actually continue the breakout. It's not going to be one of those clean breaks. And to the downside, I think if you get below 36.85, you do have a chance to go to the next level, which is 36.65 for me. So there's a chance there on the downside. We could be breaking to the downside much easier than we obviously could be breaking to the upside, given the overheads. For now, though, I am short. 37.07 is where my short's at. And I think if we get back above 37.05, I'm just going to get out. If it's a flat trade, it's a flat trade. I walk away, and I'll just wait for some more information. But at the moment, around the 10 level, I think there's a potential for shorts in front of that 25. But anything down here, we broke through the 3700s. Now we're coming back above. It does look like it's just going to chop around until the open, or at least until we get that news coming out of the potential results from the second runoff. As well, you do have Fed minutes later on today, I believe, and you can confirm that, Brendan. I do believe there's Fed minutes as well, so there's a headline risk later in the day from that as well.
Yeah, indeed. 2 o'clock, they will be released. Arun, appreciate your time as always. Thanks so much. We'll check back in again tomorrow morning. Should be an exciting session, regardless of the outcome. We could get a move in either direction, as we were saying. I was just looking at that, raising their price target on this one back to 32. We had a whole bunch of analysts cutting price targets on Fubo when it was at 60, back to $25. Now we tested below 25, so here we go back to the upside again today.
It's kind of funny because like the last time I called this up a few minutes ago, I was looking at this at 29, and I was looking at Quantum Solar maybe testing 64, and both of them pulling back. You know what? All things have to be put in perspective. I think we should always show the daily chart when you're talking Fubo here. It is on a nice upward trend. I mean, I actually have DAZN, and someone tweeted at us showing the actual Fubo account, and it actually looks pretty good. I mean, in terms of their offerings, the pullback was so crazy on both, Quantum and Fubo. That this kind of, and it's not a total gap in this case. Something QS, there's a crazy gap to be filled. It just feels like there's going to be some fantastic breaks on this name. Now, I would have thought would be looking at a 29 quarter and then working that into yesterday's high, a 31 break. But then we just had this pullback, which I didn't see sort of coming. It sort of just came out of nowhere. I think I'm going to be looking for a dip into yesterday's close at 27.30 to see if there's a bit of a buy off of that. So switching gears, as I just saw that pullback in Fubo from break, which I still think can be in play, but now sort of willing to defend yesterday's close price. It's about 27.33 is a close, so call it that quarters or the evens to give it a little bit more room in case we dip any further here on Fubo.
Yeah, I like that. Someone was tweeting us yesterday. I can actually, maybe I can actually find it here. And they were tweeting us all about what Fubo TV was looking like and what it was doing yesterday. And some of the, oh, here it is right here. Let me see if I can show this here on Twitter. I want to thank the Jora Singh here was telling us, look at how Fubo TV looks, all the different things there, lots of different sports offerings and whatnot. And now it's live, apparently on his Roku. So there is a trial there, 223 channels available. Looks good. CNBC's there. There's a whole bunch. So look, again, thank you, the Jora Singh there. A little shout out to you for that. Yeah, you can always tweet us those little cool things. I like to look at them. Yeah, so I'm still on Planet Fitness here, but Fubo TV here. I mean, I liked it through that top. Still the same top as yesterday. This 30.50 right here. I liked that play, but it didn't come through. So here it is right here, 30.50. I mean, it breaks a little bit, but doesn't do much. I was looking at the same break today, but now it doesn't look like it. It looks like it's fading back in. So whether or not this might be a sell the news type of thing. So now they're officially on Roku. We see the catalog. It's obviously functional. We'll see where it goes, but I'm just seeing right now Roku coming out with some numbers here, Brendan, as well. 58 billion streamed hours, and I don't know, lots of things coming out through Roku. So I think that's good for Fubo TV, and we will look to take out this 29 if it gets back up there. So Fubo TV for the win if you can get above 29.
Yeah, a little bit of news coming out on Facebook there as well we'll talk about. But I want to mention Carnival, guys. We just saw a little bit of a downturn in Carnival Cruise. Sean, you were actually asking yesterday, in fact, about the possibility of further cancellations. Today is the day. They just came out and said through March 31st now, cancellations for U.S.-based trips. It looks like. So they're extending. That was the end of February. They've just pushed it out for another month. So Carnival just had a little bit of a downtick there, 2080 down to about 2060 on a bit of a volume spike. So we'll have a look at some of the cruise lines coming up. But yeah, Roku surpassing 50 million active accounts and 58.7 billion streamed hours. That seems like a huge number. Let's continue along here, guys. Tesla, the next one on the list. Another day, another upgrade, this time from Morgan Stanley, and more all-time highs.
I mean, I guess, well, yeah, Tesla's just going nuts. I guess that's 50 million users and then 50 billion streams. So what's this, 100 hours? I mean, I guess over a month, I guess it's not too bad. But yeah, Tesla, I mean, that's amazing. Tesla right now, people are watching a lot of TV. Tesla right now, including myself. Tesla, let's hit that. Dun, 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 dun. I love this graphic. We hit it off the open where Brendan brought this to our attention. And yeah, what the hell? It got as high as 764. And yeah, you're not, this isn't, we haven't rewound this 8 months ago and Tesla's pre-split here at 760. This is after the split. So you can times this by 5 to get to $4,000 roughly. I mean, that's not the exact math, but as you see, Tesla just going absolutely nuts. I don't see anything stopping this. There are a couple earnings releases. Obviously, the next earnings report is going to be huge. Randy's talked about that on the show a couple times. It's even in some of our videos. We're just looking to see what the next step here for Tesla is. I would say short it at your peril, but I mean, this stock has just been absolutely on fire. Here's a 3-minute chart. We like that 720 level. Yeah, good luck with that. We talked about that yesterday, defending some 720s down here. But yeah, that didn't happen. I mean, and just look at what's happened in this stock. This is, I mean, breaks in the day here, but we were just at, this is back December 30th, 690. So from 690 to 760 in just 3 or 4 trading days. That high right there, 744, could be a little pullback area that we had back on January 4th. Just a couple days ago. But I don't know, man. We're ripping to the high side now. This is what today looks like. There's that 744 that we talked about, 740 maybe. Neil, I mean, unless you're willing to pay up here, 764, like, I don't know, VWAP 760. It's too early right now, but I would say don't short this thing. You got to do what you got to do. I mean, unless you're the big short, and I believe of big short fame, Michael Burry, he came out publicly, and it's like, why would you just be public? Who would go public if you're short Tesla? You can just go ahead and do it, but I think he's out like 10 to 15% there. I kind of said this a couple of weeks ago, or maybe it was last week. 787, I don't know, I kind of just remember this on the way up and the way down. It was just an interesting number, and for whatever reason, Tesla seems to, even post-split, some of those numbers that had some significance, you get a little bit of action off of those. 666, I don't know why, but you were able to play off that level a little bit. 787, I'm just going to file that away, and when we get there, I'll have a quick look to see if there's a bit of a turnaround play. And I know yesterday we closed at 735, so to think that we'll get another $50 move, and I'll be fading that, you wouldn't seem that likely, but I feel pretty solidly that we'll see that in the next couple of days. So there's probably a break to be had. I would love for us to be able to defend the 750 level today. You have a pre-market low, 250 below that, so you can sort of take that long, give it to the pre-market low, and then you're using that 750 level to your advantage, and it's a great psychological one. I'm just not even sure we're going to get it.
All right, guys, let's go to big tech land. We'll talk Apple, Microsoft, Google, Facebook, Amazon, take your pick. With the possibility of a Democratic-controlled Senate, more scrutiny possibly to come, law changes possibly to come when it comes to, yeah, all of those affected today. Down between 2 and 3.5% here, basically right across the board. Which one kind of stands out here, guys, as far as what we want to look at?
I mean, I like Facebook, and I've liked that for a while. So we can just continue to look at that as we continue to be long 70 cents now in the money on DraftKings. I like DraftKings as a tech play. I know that's not really a tech play, but if you're going to take a NASDAQ stock that can swing even more, I do like DraftKings better than all of these. But this 266 level is somewhat interesting to me. That was on the magic sticky note there was 266. But now that I look at this more carefully, I think I misjudged it. I think it's this 265.50 level that we're looking at right here, 265.50 on a little bit of a break to the upside here. But because of the negativity surrounding these names and what a possible tighter restrictions on these names, tax possibly rolling back some of those tax breaks, and then really just attacking big tech. That's apparently, like, I didn't think that was on the Democratic agenda, but the more you read, the more they're trying to maybe clamp down on this and see if they can get some tax dollars back from these guys, and then address some of the monopolistic. I mean, look, I think it's a good thing if they break these companies up. Like, can you imagine if they go, oh, Facebook, you have too much power, you need to spin off WhatsApp? I mean, if that ever happens, then well, I'm just going to do this for Facebook shareholders because, or Instagram, like, okay, spin it off. That's a great idea. But, okay, 262, 261. You saw eBay spun off PayPal, right? Okay, let's keep on moving on. 262 to the downside here. Look, I don't know. I'm bullish on these names, so it's going to be hard for me to turn bearish for a longer term. But an opportunity, like Neil always says, is an opportunity. So you have to sit there and look at the chart and not try to keep your bias in play. Facebook, I mean, this is what's been happening for the last little while since the election. They can't really find a grip. And yeah, right now it looks like we are breaking to the low side. So I would say watch out for 260. I like Microsoft a little bit better, Neil, just because it's not, I mean, I love Facebook if it goes. I love that 265.50 level. But if you are going to try to build into a position here, Microsoft, again, still the same chop, but it doesn't have the dramatic moves that Facebook has. So if you think a slower grind to the upside, take a Microsoft here, breaking through 215. That's the 50-day moving average. So I do like that one. And on a 3-minute chart, you still do have this 215 bottom. So I like 215 for Microsoft. If you like something slower, I'm not sure. I haven't really got to look at Apple, but for me, Apple is just a buy on any dip if you're long term.
I tend to agree with that. I kind of feel like in the market, and this ISR, I've been sort of shorting this one a few times this morning. I'm going to have to give up at that 170 level. Looks like this is just way too strong. We're definitely going to talk about this one. I'm going to file this one away as a stronger position to the long side for one of these gappers. But it does feel like tech is going to get oversold in all of this. There's some other themes to start thinking about here. The old story that the only one in the last like 20, 30 years, if you look and go back like 20, 25 years ago, what were the top 10 stocks in market cap and which one actually held up and was still there? It was Microsoft. The last time there were big antitrust concerns, the government came down, they clamped down, and they were looking at Microsoft, and what happened? Essentially nothing, right? So, if that's the same thing here, which it feels to me like that's going to be the story. Sean mentioned a great point about breaking up Facebook. But you got to play the wins here. So as much as I feel like there's going to be a buying opportunity, that's not what's going to happen, I think, today, unless we keep our ear to the ground. If we get up to that 215 level, I'm very likely on Microsoft to be looking for a bit of a fade. The concern I have with this trade is we could start getting like rumors, results, shifts up and down, and you're going to get these swings in the tech names because of it. So you really do have to, listen to everything Brendan says. We'll give updates live here. Just be very, very careful in and around trading these these FANG names and some of the recovery names as well, because cannabis, because you're just going to get headline and algo risk for maybe the rest of today, maybe even tomorrow, depending on how long this plays out. I like that 215 level, but maybe for a little bit something different. Not just as a breakout, but I just feel like short-term the selling could continue, and I'd like to fade off of it. And Microsoft, it's a stable level to use.
Just seeing a note here, guys. The NYSE will proceed with the delisting of 3 Chinese telecom companies. China Telecom, which is CHA, China Unicom, which is CHL, and then also there was one more here. CHU. So China Telecom Corporation is CHA, China Mobile is CHL, and then CHU as well. So as of 9:30, those 3 symbols will be removed. Yeah, sure, we can have a look.
Yeah, it's not, here's CHU here in New York. It's in 131,000 shares. You could see not much happening, but they did get that bump yesterday on the opposite news. I thought it was yesterday that these guys were going to get lifted, or lifted back on the NYSE. But if you look at a daily chart here, and I haven't been following this story too much, but again, down if you want any of that CHL. You also brought that to our attention here. So this one, this moving a little bit more. It looks like it's going to be 28.30 yesterday. Oh, again, my daily chart's not moving. CHL.NY, big mover again. Okay, actually, we're not even moving that much. So 28.33, good opportunity to short these maybe. I don't know, Neil, have you been following this story? I really haven't, other than making sure it doesn't affect Baba, Baidu, things like that.
Who says it even necessarily? It doesn't feel like it's affecting those names. It's just a little crazy to me. It's like they are, they aren't, they are now again. As long as look, the problem I think with this is like you're trading the ADRs over here, and there's a lack of liquidity. It feels to me like if there was any chance to fade off of those highs in CHL, like 30 you mentioned here, or just pick your poison. If there's any sort of gap fill to the backside, it just feels like there's be a lot of risk off that might still have to come into play off the open. But selling here at this bottom at 28, yeah, sure, it could get down to like back to that 26, 27 area on like a CHL, but it just feels like there's no liquidity. And if they keep flip-flopping, you can just get sort of blown away. So unless you're playing it off of a level like a 30, I'm staying away from these names almost altogether. It's just, I don't know, if they could just reverse again, and this is kind of crazy.
A few things just coming out. Watch Novavax if you're a Novavax trader. Barron's reporting that Novavax has COVID-19 vaccine news coming out soon. they're saying. So we'll keep an eye on NVAX. Ford just reported Q4 total vehicle sales, 542,749. That's down about 10%. I want to make sure we get to BTBT. I just grabbed a chart of Bitcoin here just to show you a comparison. This is a 10-minute chart, but BTBT starting to, I've noticed this over the past couple of sessions, trade very one and the same along with Bitcoin. So we're seeing this kind of fade off back below 34,500 for Bitcoin, and BTBT, Bit Digital, doing the same, guys.
Yeah, thanks for showing that. I mean, you guys know that I trade Bitcoin. And how about that Cardano? I messaged you earlier on that one. ADA, guys, you guys looking at that up about 50% in a couple days. So I recommended that a couple days ago, but I'm not... Try not to recommend cryptos because that's just, it's a game that you got to play yourself. Okay, you talked about Ford, a nice little bump up there, down 10% sales. You thought it would have been down. Those of you that know that we've been calling Ford for a while here, down $7. That's where we're long. We didn't get anything out. May do that now. I was watching what about this 50 period, but a nice bump up there in Ford today. So watch out, doing 1+ million shares and still going. So I actually do like Ford there. DraftKings up on the high side as well. What stock were you talking about? I got
BTBT.
Oh yeah, BT. Oh
Which
yeah,
is basically, Bitcoins. It's actually flat, despite the fact that it just pulled in like $2 and looking like it's just found a bit of a base here yesterday's close, but it's right at flat at 28 even, and you're sort of looking at that little bit of a pullback off of like 3,500 here on the spot. Just looking at it, and it's following it almost like lockstep. So if we defend what looks like a 3,400 level, you're probably going to be playing off a 28 break on BTBT, but the volume is only okay, and the spread, I'd like to see us open up. When liquidity gets better, then when you start thinking about arbitrage trades, it's reliant on that liquidity.
Moderna, guys, vaccine news. Moderna higher this morning. The EU finally giving approval for use of their COVID-19 vaccine throughout the European bloc. They also approved their marketing for that region as well. So another approval. It's definitely stronger than some of the other vaccine names, 2.5% here. Pfizer, not so much, but coming into some significant levels here for Moderna.
Look, man, sell Moderna any chance you can, is my opinion. Sell it for, yes, DraftKings, $1.40 now. Okay, so Moderna, I mean, I would just, honestly, I've been telling you guys, like, Pfizer released their vaccine. Yay, we got approval, down 10%, right, from that date. And the same thing here for Moderna. And guess what? The same thing's going to happen to every stock, I think, except for J&J. I believe J&J is not relying solely on a vaccine, but anybody that is, even NVAX, congratulations, you're going to release a positive vaccine, and then your stock can also go down. Okay, so here on Moderna, look, I mean, we could go long. I think it's been beat down a lot. You remember this name at 170, 180, and now you're back down here to 110, 115. There was a beautiful base down here. That's the one thing that I just want to point out to everybody. We did base out 107, 108, 109 down there. So I just really look for this to crack. You might think like, oh yeah, it's not going to get all the way down here, but it probably is. So I look at 107 and change. You could even crack this 109.30 to the downside. That could happen a lot quicker than we saw. Look at yesterday's open. We were right here, basically the same kind of thing, 112, and then that's when we cracked all the way down to 107 and change. So I'm going to put a short through Moderna 109.50 and say adios to this stock.
Yeah, I mean, I always like to play the fade on Moderna, at least in terms of trying to test that high, and it showed some indications that it was going to test 115 this morning. I'm going to throw that one out the window and now play off of, like, this 113 level looks like it could be good as well. So if I can get something around that price to patented sort of sell the news. I know Moderna's been beaten up, and, you can look at the daily chart and sort of see that it is basing out, but there's still a good 10% into that support level from here. So if we do retest that, if you like the long Moderna for whatever reason, then you go ahead and wait for that, or you get that 115 break, which just could be a pure momentum play. I'll be playing the short off of that level to be sure. You guys are going to see Sundial here, and of course, we've talked about cannabis sort of to death. There is a 66 level, and that's what I'm playing off of currently. It's a couple times it's held in the pre-market. I did play off it once when it tested and sort of broke, and now I see it hold again. That's why I'm going to work off of this level. But I'm not going to average into it going into that final 10 minutes before the open, because that usually is disaster. So if it breaks, I'll just get out and look for a re-entry on Sundial.
All right, guys, there was a couple of news catalysts when it comes to some of the gaming stocks. We talked about DraftKings and Penn National a little bit, but Governor Cuomo in New York State coming out saying that he's planning to add mobile gaming specifically to his policy coming up, and plans to promote it further in New York State. And then obviously the the Democrat-controlled Senate would, give more positive catalyst to the sector.
Okay, ISR looks like it's coming back down. But yeah, okay, so we've already rang the register a little bit here on DraftKings with a swish on that one. So long at $50, man. It doesn't get any easier for me on this one. So we're already quite huge today on this move. So whatever, we still have 40%. It's at its day's high here, and I think it can just goes higher and higher and higher. Once this market opens up, this probably gets going even more. So why don't we take a little bit off just in case that's not true. If we get anywhere near $52, we will take that off here. Here's the daily chart. I don't know, $54, maybe some resistance levels there. I don't see any problems with this. We were pounding the table. I actually have 3 friends WhatsApping me right now about this because we were buying this stock. Most of them are here, 47.48 long, that name. So I'm really happy with this performance. It's always nice when you get those DMs or those pings when they're nice news, not bad news, right? So that one ripping to the upside. A couple of the other calls I gave them, you guys know BFT and whatnot, but DraftKings is going to continue to work. I talked about that with Mark Roberts. I talked about that with you. I don't even think it matters. NFL playoffs, baseball, basketball, who cares? DraftKings is a mover. They advertise a hell of a lot. They're one of the only names you can get in. We talked about Penn, and we're going to hit the ring the register on that one. Here's ADA. I see some people not knowing anything or asking a little bit about Cardano. So this is the move I'm talking about here. Look at this base. We talked about that. As soon as you get this break, this is when I was talking to you guys about it just after Christmas or around Christmas anyways, 19, 17, 18 cents up to 30. But that is crypto. And we tried to add it to our board, right, Brendan? But unfortunately, Icon does not have that availability. But guys, floss it off if you're with me on DraftKings. Here it goes, even higher and higher and higher right now. 1 minute chart looks more fantastic on this name. And I said, if we're going to be long anything, why not be long DraftKings on a day like today? I mean, I could be one and done, but I got a show to do.
Yeah, the only thing I want to add is I'm going to be bidding on GAN to get this one off the open. It's another play in the same space. We talked about it with Mark there. So I like 2020. We'll see if we get back down. It's already pulled back in a little bit. And I just feel like this is a name that's kind of been slept on in the space. So you have a chance to pick it up at a good price, relatively speaking, to Penn and DraftKings. But Brendan, you got an interesting one up there at the big screen here before the open.
Yeah, news a little bit late this morning on this one. This Aikido Pharmaceuticals. This is psilocybin-based news. They've done a licensing agreement for some cancer research work with psilocybin. So big pop here from 90 cents. We went through $1 up to 150. This is a recent IPO, only a few months trading for this one. If you go right back to the first day, the day high was in fact 150. So it's kind of stalling out here at 150. It gets above that. Off to the races probably for AIKI, guys.
Yeah, but the other thing too is this is a very stupid liquid name, and I think very similar to ISR. You're going to be able to move a lot of shares in this. They're both literally at the same month, like 44 million shares that they've both done. This is holding up at least a little bit strong. So if we're not below that 150 at the open, you're going to stay away from taking any shorts in this. And ISR is the other one too, guys. This is shaping up to be a bit of a chance at a runner. You saw me shorting a couple of times here in the pre-market, some scalps that were winning. This was a decent short here, but then started working into one that's just off of 66, which I really liked. So take the hit, and now it's just too strong for me to play. 150, I feel like there's a chance to defend that level if we catch it off the open. I mean to the buy side instead. So watch out for ISR. If it gets below that price, you're probably looking at a sell almost for the rest of the day. So 150 on ISR and on AIKI are going to be very, very key. ISR just happens to be trading above it and trending up.
I just want to, we always talk about some of our viewers here, and I want to give a big shout out here to Daryl. So happy today. Cannabis, DraftKings already done well. And then I said, congrats, Daryl. But I thought this was a clap, but I guess it's a wave. So, hey, Daryl, what's up? How's it going on that wave? So there we go. Yeah, no, look, man, it's been... when I wake up and I just even check out the crypto wallets, I'm like, okay, this is going nuts. And then you wake up and you check out some of the stocks that you're in, and you're like, okay, these are going nuts as well. So hell yeah, it's been a good day. But we do watch out the NASDAQ. Pretty much all of my bigger stocks, like a Microsoft, Apple, Google's one of my largest holdings, Disney, Facebook, things like that are all in my longer term account. So like for you US people, it's like a 401k. Here in Canada, it's RRSP. So all I'm doing on those, which is why you don't hear me talk too much about it, is we average in to those when they dip down. So I think Apple, that's why I'm not super focused on Apple too much on some of these levels, because I don't think it's for a day trade. I think it's for like a hold trade. Okay, we are getting very close. My order's upside here, 72 on DraftKings. So we're going to take a $1.70 winner on at least 20%. We have an order for 20% to get out of that trade if that does come up. So I think we get that right off the open. Watch out for DraftKings, man. I don't know if we'll punch along again. This is a big move up, already 8.5%. So watch out for DraftKings. Just super happy with the way it's working. Oh yeah, and my QS long from yesterday, where I said this stock, if you had patience, this was a good name for you. That long, guys, was 52.50 yesterday off the open. So we had it, not even there, even lower. I can't find it. But anyways, 52.50 yesterday, $63. Congratulations again to another 20% win if anybody's holding that play off the top. But we got to get ready, man. Not too long. I don't have too many crazy plays.
So much, I mean, I was about to say so much for fading off 215 on Microsoft. It's just, Microsoft just dropped $2 here off of this 215 level. It's actually still falling. I don't know if anything just happened here. I'm not even seeing the market move too much, but it's actually testing the low of the day. I wanted to fade off the 215 level. I just was not ready. I thought that would happen off the open here. I guess I'll take another shot at it if it does come back up, but we got to drop this bell here. Obviously, keep the ears to the ground. Brendan's going to get all the news to you if there's any updates when it comes to that runoff. Miss V is laughing it up because something's funny going off behind us here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I have to fill us in on what was so good there.
All right, let's go. Here we go. Yeah, we see a bunch of people jumped in the room here. 10,000 viewers right now. 213.50. We'll take a long on Microsoft if that does break. But like Neil said, a big move down here on Softy. So we did have that 215 long. I'm looking at 213.50 long as well. DraftKings, guys, comes crashing back down. So you're getting another chance to buy this 50 level. We do have some levels here, 49 and change. But DraftKings coming right back down. A good opportunity to pick some up if you want to like that 50 level.
Yeah, and Moderna, no pop to be able to fade it into it yet, but this is the short I'm looking for, guys, off that 113. It does look like it wants to try to come back up at least until it gets to like a 112 to 113 range. I'm not likely to be in an ISR. Just there it goes. Yeah, it is what it is. You just go ahead and cancel that order. Why can't I cancel that order? We'll see what happens there. I don't know why this order will cancel, but I did try to pick something up, and it just ran to the upside here, ISR. Close. About to test $2 to the top side. I don't know where it's going to halt, but already off to the races, ISR.
Okay, so Microsoft getting close here. We're going to look to break through 215 and change. 213.50 there, and we'll hold it all the way back, man. If it breaks through 212, that's fine. Let's see if this one continues to want to go there. We talked about shorting Tesla at your peril. I'm not into anything yet. Nothing's really hit for me, but Tesla right now, 259, 260. It could retest this short as the NASDAQ trying to figure out what it wants to do right here. This is a 1 minute chart. Here we go. Now the move's starting to get down, so we got to find something to short very soon, maybe even NEO.
Yeah, I'm going to get to Fubo for a second here, guys. That also came back off of this 290 level, sorry, 29 level, and then this 28 as well. If you'd like to pick up the dip, which is what I was sort of intending on doing in front of that 27, and 27.50 is sort of that low. ISR is halted, but I'm going to dip into some Fubo here. It's a tight stop. It already bounced off that pre-market low, so I can have what should be a relatively good risk to reward. And again, the plan was kind of catch the falling sword a little bit here and then see if we held that pre-market low, guys. ISR, like I said, it halted shy of $2. I thought it would actually get to $2 and then halt at that price with 192. So it hasn't broken $2 yet. If I said that, I apologize. I'm going to scalp some of this out on Fubo on this little bounce play here. If I can get like a 30 to 40 cent scalp and then hold on for like a 28.50 a range, we'll go ahead and be happy with that trade so far and go 1 for 1 on the longs, even though my shorts did not work out. I should have held Sundial, but I made this rule last year. Get out of it if it pushes up before 9:30.
Okay, guys, so we're into NEO. Bang! A nice little win. Punch that in the face right now. Let's go. Long through 55. Out here, 55.20. Let's just let this thing continue to rip up. Oh, yeah, and by the way, boom on CGC, man. Batman, we are in the building. I told you we're taking things long on this name. This is a 70-cent winner. So 70 cents here on CGC, 90 cents, $1 plus now on DraftKings. We tried to reload, we missed, but let's go here. CGC ripping to the moon. We got to get some out. Big trade alert. What up, Brad?
Early mover as well, guys. NIO just popping through 55 there on monster volume right off the bat. Dollar move right at the open for NEO, guys.
Yeah, we have that. So we're long here through 55 there, Brad. Bren. And we just took some out on a 55 drop, but we're not doing that again. We're going to wait for 54.75 to break before we get out. So let's see if this one wants to continue to rip up. So we already took 25 cents. Then we get out for a 6-cent loss on the same percentage. So let's wait to see. We're still positive on this name. Ripping to the high side goes NIO. Big trade alert on that one, man. Big trade alert. CGC as well to the upside and still ripping. Looks like we're 3 for 3 here. Let's just keep this day going.
Oh, there goes a fuel cell finally breaking out. I tried this one off a couple of times before it went to the downside to 1150. It's a 1220 level I like, so I'll try to get it on a bit of a dip here. And of course, I'm still waiting for this ISR to open up. I did get that scalp trade out for like the 30 cents on Fubo. We're going to hold on to the rest of it. It is pulling back in. I'll reload in front of 27 if I get a shot, but all eyes on fuel cell for me, which looks like it's continuing its run of the last little bit there. Brennan?
Plug Power, guys. I saw a note on this one this morning actually putting this in a clean energy group, which, if you think about it, solar powered plugging in EVs, right? It's clean energy. Just broke 35 there on a volume spike for Plug Power starting to go.
Wow, yeah, everything's starting to go here. NEO starting to go down right now. So we're going to use 54.25 or so as our outs. It does touch that VWAP, so we need to try to maybe build into some of these positions here and take it maybe take a little more long right now. We'll take some 66s right there on NIO. I'm going to use this level here as a drop spot. If it wants to come down, it comes down. 54.25, we will get out of NEO. But there goes DraftKings, man, just reigniting back to the upside. We're still here at day's high waiting for that to come through. So big trades everywhere here today, guys. Watch out for the NASDAQ still falling. We're not in Microsoft or anything yet.
Yeah, I mean, I never actually got that Microsoft. I did get into Sundial. I'll go over that one in just a little bit here. Microsoft didn't give that retest of 215, so I'm kind of patiently waiting for it to come back to the upside. That's the level I wanted. CHEK from yesterday is just falling like an absolute rock, and it's testing yesterday's low. This was another one. We talk about things that are on the watch list one day. You try to get back to them the next. It is breaking that 160 level. This is pre-market, but also yesterday's bottom. If it pops back up, I'm playing off 175, but I might have to take this breakdown. Certainly one that got missed a little bit here, and it's already down 7.5%. It is not SSR, so it is short sell restricted, so you can't hit that bid.
Like, I thought Uber, there we go, was like people's picks, was Uber. So Uber downside, 52.50 break. Let's go long on Uber if it does break through 52.50. What's up, Brent?
Another one from the clean energy group, guys. ENPH here, end phase. All-time highs this morning. Just went from 196 to 206. $10 move here for ENPH.
Endo, eh? Okay, yeah, don't smoke on some of that Endo. Okay, we average into NEO here. Nice little move to the upside. We also take Uber long. I mean, guys, like, what a great trade that was right there. Bang on Uber, guys. We go long there, breaking through 50. 40 cents in the money there again as it just keeps on going, man. What a successful day this has been. Look at Uber. Go, go, go. I said, like, why was it down there? A nice little move upside on Uber. Let's just keep on going, man. This day is just monstrous. Again, oops, we did it again. What up, Brittany?
SL going to make a bit of a move here back to the upside, guys. I have a couple of pending orders that I'm sitting here on. I actually was just able to that order that was sitting there, and yeah, I don't know. I have a 173 bid that I tried to get on ISR. Fortunately, above it is just halted again. So, I mean, if I actually got that fill, fantastic. It did look like it missed when I tried to go long. I just don't know necessarily whether I got that position or not. It's up at 184, but this is now a downward halt, and it failed at $2. So that was going to be the test, that $2 level. I'd actually think about shorting off of that 2 even, but this might be one to stay away from. I just got to figure out whether actually I have these shares at 73.
Yeah, I'm going to tweet this out, this Uber trade right now, because that was just a fantastic one. Look at this one. $1 now in the money on Uber. Let go. What up, Brandon? They
bought it initially, guys, but CCL right back to the downside. So the print was higher, but 75 down to 40 now. Remember, cancellations extended for Carnival. That was announced just before the open here this morning at 9:30. So negativity for the cruise lines again.
Yeah, Uber, I mean, we could just keep on going, man. We'll punch Uber in the face here as we tweet this out. 53, we just got out 53.12 there. A big win, guys, to say. Oh, okay, NEO, look at this average in. Average in 54.50, average in 54.60. We're now in the money on this one, but we didn't take it out when it ripped up. We did put some orders out there, but we didn't have it. We were too busy looking at Uber. We should have had some orders out there, $55. That was the break spot. We did double up there on that break, so we got to watch out here. I do have some orders now upside on NEO. So you should see some of this starting to come out. But Uber, man, what a great, I'm really happy with this one. This was a lot of people's picks to go for the year. We're in this one. I don't have as many shares as I wanted to, or else, yeah, we'd be like backflipping ourselves like crazy. But right now, guys, the day just starting, and yeah, CGC, profitable. DraftKings, I don't need to tell you about that one. NEO, big time profits if we get out, I guess. And then Uber. So right now we're 4 for 4. Let's go. Big day.
Sundial, I actually added to my position below VWAP here instead of necessarily taking it off. If we can break through this 62.50, I just like this pullback trade. I'm going to work with the same levels before that 66 now that we're post-open, guys. As far as ISR goes, it's still actually on a volatility halt here. I don't think I'm long at 173, unfortunately. But if I did get that fill, fantastic. Brennan, what's up?
Talked about strength in banks. Regions Financial, guys. RF, 6%, just popped up on a volume spike through 17. 52-week highs for RF.
You talked about that with Mark.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, great look by Mark. That AIKI that Brennan mentioned, fantastic test off the high here. Now it wasn't 150. This is lower highs off of the 160 level. I still think you can play off the 150 here, but the fact that it held the top, I like. So I'm going to jump into something here around VWAP, managing this, and of course that sundial position, which looks okay. Check. I'm going to start building into as well to that sell side trade. Just checking back in, and that pun's going to work all day long. On Microsoft, it is trying to pop off of this low here. I'm watching the NASDAQ struggle to break out of the range. I still like that 215 level to play off of. It's just nowhere near it. The weakness in Microsoft here. There was an imbalance that came out. I think that's what drove it down, according to Arun.
Okay, and yeah, that's good. The imbalance probably drove down every single tech stock there, I would think. But look at NEO. We just took some off. We're long right here, 78s, and we just took. We were long 88s, so we just took a little bit off there for that loss. So now, only reason again because it's breaking through 55. That's having a hard time. 54.90 exactly. So we just want to lighten our position there because right now we have monsters everywhere else, man. Uber's still ripping upside there. We did take a little bit of Bitcoin here, so that's GBTC. You guys know that's how I look to trade this one. Look at this, 41.40. Why is that blue? Okay, we'll fix that. But now making moves to the upside here. So nice little 20-cent win on GBTC. Guys, smash the like. How many people are watching right now? Over 10? Yeah, 10-2. 1.6K. We got to throw to Valeria soon to get this going. But right now there's too much to worry about. Let's just continue to trade. But definitely hit that like if you like the show, guys. Big time movers. Come on, NEO. I'm still waiting for you, buddy.
Yeah, I just got into some more shares that AIKI. You're looking at that NIO, Sean. Just a quick look over at, and of course it's not loading, so I have to go manually to XPEV, and we'll get to that in just a quick sec. I'm having some issues with my charts, guys, so not a lot loading here, and my quote board is not cooperating with me at some times here, but XPeng is fading hard. I was looking to see if we could defend that 40 level. We bounced off of 40.60 just a second ago. It does look like we're going to have to wait for some consolidation there. Sundial's rolling over. I'll get to that when we come back from Brennan.
We had those numbers out just before the open, guys, on Roku. They sold it initially, so initial weakness here down to 325, but just popped up on a volume spike to the upside. So buyer stepping in for Roku, guys.
Okay, we're just hoping that, 240 was my Roku level, but I guess that's not happening right now. Okay, we did get more DraftKings right there. We're still waiting for NEO to go. We're lightening up on Uber. We did get some out there. We noticed that 30s was a little bit of a situation. Now we're coming up to that VWAP, so I don't think it's in a horrible spot to drop some off, but we're at our highest spot today right now. So it's been a big successful day for us, and we just, we're 5 for 5 right now. We just catch out of some of that position, and we did average into our DraftKings. So before this gets too nasty here, we take a bid there at 30, take it out at 50. So let's go. If DraftKings breaks 50, we're out, but we're still pretty profitable on this stock, as you know. So let's just keep getting in and out of DraftKings here. Let's see if it has one more push to the high side, but we did average in right there. What's up, Brent?
Another name that Mark mentioned this morning, guys, this ETF, TAN, all-time highs, 8.5%. Just made a day high as well, guys.
Okay.
Getting a bounce off his bottom on Sundial. I'm not going to take some profit off around the 62 because 61, double bottom is held. That's going to be a break point. If it breaks through 61, I'm actually going to add to a short position through that price. We just got FSL testing back to the top side, guys. I did try to average into it or add back to it at 12 even here. I got a bit of a dip into VWAP. It's trying to test back through the high of the day. I'll take some out in front of 1250 psychological level. That's right around where the current high of the day is.
Okay, so yeah, we go 5 for 5. So right now it's hot dog time. Get it, Lori, get it. There's hot dogs coming everywhere. I see you on the chat there, Lori. And yeah, we go perfect again. If you're following me, I hope you guys have been doing that for the last little while anyways, because yeah, we go perfect. We go CGC 31.13, bang, to the high side. Big time win on that one. DraftKings, the story writes itself. I've already talked about that. Neo, another one, guys. Bang, bang. Look at these average prices. In here, out, 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 out. Beautiful trade there on Neo. 30 cents in the money now. Watch it break through 55. This is what we're doing. And then Uber, hell of a call on this one, guys. 52.50. Can't believe it dropped. When I saw that, I was like, hell yeah, let's load up as we start to dump again. So 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, and Bitcoin 5 for. I mean, look at this. We're out of GBTC, but why are we out of it? Look at this thing run up to the high side there. But yeah, what a great trade that was as well. So 5 for 5 over here. Let's keep the party rocking, guys.
And reopen on ISR, it is to the downside. So there was no chance to get this reopen off of $2 because it came right to this 180. Now we're immediately testing those lows. I did try a breakout along at 173, 175. This level right here, if you can sort of see, let me zoom in on the 1 minute. That level is going to be where I'd put a stop to go into the short trade. This one looks like it's going to be fading in. It's still up 200%. Even with that 40-cent pullback. So there's plenty of room to still run to that little downside. It's trying to break this 160 level and sustain it lower. I like the 175 as a bit of a stop. Fuel cell just can't seem to get itself going, guys. And that AIKI, that is to the moon. It just broke the top.
I like that, Sean, making it rain hot dogs. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That was kind of fun. I don't even know where that really came from. I guess it was just we initially had that idea for a cool little thing there with the hot dogs, but we are making it rain. So good call there. I hope you guys like that. And I'm just shouting out Lori because she has some fun hot dog memes and stuff going on through that as well. But okay. Oh, I did want to talk about Palantir, PLTR here. As again, we talk about hitting our goals. Congratulations if you're with me because you would have probably just done that. Hopefully for your day if you share sized up a bit, which we have over on this side. Look, when things are running for you guys, you got to keep going. So 24.65 right here, Palantir. I definitely like that long. Everything working like a charm right now for us. What's up, Brent?
Speaking of working, Sean, your GRWG just popped up through, yeah, $45 on a volume spike there. All-time highs for Grow Generations.
Yeah, hell yeah. And guess what? That's not stopping. So that's another one. GRWG. We gave that one to you guys a hell of a long time ago. So welcome and congratulations, anybody long. Wow. GRWG. I'm long $17 on this one and still not out, but I think we got to trim today. That's a big move.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to get a bit of a push here in fuel cell. It's held VWAP so far. My price is still going to be 25s. I wasn't able to get any more down at this. And there were a couple of wicks down here. It was just trouble to get any liquidity on fuel cell despite this 10 million in volume. If it breaks through the high, like I said, the plan is to get some out in front of this 50 level and then hold on for a secondary break. Of course, this is going to be a bit of a play on what looks like is going to be that Democratic victory. So you're going to get some of the clean energy stocks starting to move. Just to come back to that ISR, guys, was able to scalp a bit of a short off of this little bottom break, that 160 level. However, it looks like it's going to head back up. It's so liquid. There's basically not a heck of a lot of reason to hang on to it against me here. So I'm just going to quickly see if I can get out if it breaks that 165. There we go, our order's a little bit slow there. Going to get out if it breaks that 165, which it just did, and then work off of this 180 to 185 level if it does pop back up. It looked strong before, but it's starting to fade off a little bit here. Moderna is finally testing these higher levels for a potential rollover. I mean, this stock, I thought would do this at the open. If we break 40 to the downside, I'm going to punch short of Moderna. Otherwise, we're fading off of 115.
Yep, we hate Moderna, and yeah, I do as well. But I was looking at 109 for that stock. So here's Moderna right now. Neil just talked about it, so we don't have to look at that. Okay, so the only stock that's really falling against us right now is NIO, and again, here we go. We have to keep having to hit enter on the chart, so that will be the feedback that I give. 54.20 here. We could try to defend that level. I think we will. We'll put another bid there, but then I'm not letting this thing go much below this, man. 53.73 or so. So I think this is worth averaging into right now on NEO because we know the explosive nature of this stock and that it can just keep on ripping to the high side. CGC's been a little bit slow for us here. I thought it would go a little higher. Really happy with getting out on the top there. See, how come some of my charts are green and some are blue? We'll have to figure that out. But if you see the up arrow, that means where we got in. So you can also see the prices on the bottom of our screen. But here we go. Uber right back. Hell yeah. Big win for Uber. Let's go, Bren.
Big down name. Caterpillar, guys. Infrastructure based as well. 4.8% for Caterpillar. all-time highs, 192.50. It just got broken there for Caterpillar.
And there's that one, the 1250 level, and this is one of the reasons we talk about quarters and 50s on FSEL. The previous high was 45, but it stalls out at 49. I got it anyways in front of 42 for the first quarter of the position. I still want to hang on to this one to see how far we can possibly go. We're nowhere near these 14 levels on the daily chart. Whether it goes there today or not, I mean, that's anybody's guess, certainly. And keep your ears to the ground, because this could snap back in a hurry if things start turning when it comes to counting those votes. I finally got into Moderna here on that 112.40 break. It is starting to roll over. I'm using this recent high here, that 113.50. If it breaks this level, we're using the high of the day, that 115, and then getting into a different trade. But I'm just seeing if we can roll back towards that opening range low. That was a 110 handle.
Okay, NASDAQ back from the dead, and we went long Microsoft, my favorite stock, Mr. Softy. So we are long right now, 213.50 to the high side there. Let's see how high this one wants to go. We will take some out just before 75 if we can get it. So we are offering right now 74s to take a quick 25 pennies. If we could do that, that'd be fantastic. And there it is, a nice little 25-cent run. So run it. All we're doing today right now is putting out, watch out, that's not the right one. We're going to do this one. Is it going to do it again? There it is, money to the upside right now for Microsoft. We're not getting hit by no trains up in here, that's for sure. Microsoft, a nice little runner to the high side. I still like a 215 break on that name, so let's get going on that and see how high we can go here for Mr. Softy. DraftKings, beautiful reload. So there it is, a nice little reload off 50.40, and we go. So right now, guys, adding Microsoft to the party, 6 for 6. Let's go high side right now. Where did we open up on Softy? This big drop was 214.40. So let's get out a little bit more if we can. A sub or a little bit higher actually than 214. Let's go 214.15 or so if we can get that on Microsoft. And just guys, it's been a party kind of day. I hope you're enjoying yourself, and I hope you have some of these winners, man. Big day.
130,000 share order just got filled on the offer at 12.50. I mean, still already long in fuel cell here, but was just looking to get some more shares out on the south side of that, so I took it out more at 47, and you're seeing that break. I'm probably going to be adding to this if it gives any kind of a pullback into that 40 to 45. I still have half the position. 12.18 was the reload. That's sort of what we have right here off of VWAP. And again, no targets until we get to maybe we get to 14 today, but I'll certainly take some out if we get to a 13 level, and definitely again at 13.50, and then we'll see if we can't get any kind of a dip buy. Right now I'm looking at 12.25 for that, but you never really know what that's going to end up being. Jumping back over to Sundial, I know you guys are probably watching the cannabis space and some of these stocks being interesting. I don't think this one is going to be included in that. Of course, I kind of said that a million times. I'm still going to short this one again off of VWAP as it looks like it's continuing to fade in here, guys. Fuel cell off to the races, but I'm going to wait for a dip to buy this. The 12.50 break, there's a ton of liquidity going back and forth, Brennan.
Speaking of futures, guys, we'll talk about the 9 here. Futures just taking out 37.20. NCTY, the 9, 3 days in a row now to the upside, 28.5%. Another one that's cryptocurrency based. Remember, they just made an announcement 2 days ago that they are also getting into the cryptocurrency game. So $11 here for NCTY now, guys.
All right. Okay, so 53.74, so 53.70. We will get out of some of our NEO. We've averaged in right now at these levels. This is what we're talking about. So we took some 18s there, and we took some 20s. I don't know. Okay, so now we're long NEO right now and still working for us. You can see I did get into ETHE here, which is Ether. So we did buy some of that on the downside as well. Long 1420, that's, again, another crypto play there. Uber still trying to go, but having a problem upside. So we will put some orders here, 53.22. Look at this market move. Apparently, I mean, Pelosi's already called Asaf the winner, so maybe it's going to be a 2 for 2, a sweep in Georgia for the Democrats. So that's good. You know, if you like those policies. Not a political show here, but we are trading, so you do have to watch out for some of these plays as they go. And by the way, guys, bang for Mr. Softy, man. We are in the building again on Microsoft. We love this play. We talked about 213.50 right there. We took that on the on the break back to the upside, and there it is again. Another big winner for my favorite name, Mr. Softy. Just keep on working for me, buddy. This has been a monstrous day, as you guys can see. Lots of things happening and very, very successful.
Yeah, that dip in fuel cell only got to 30s, and I'm sitting here at 20s. Obviously, my price is going to still be that 18 level, which I like. I just going to try to get some more shares if I can, but it's starting to continue to run into the money. I might take a 12.50 break if it goes again, rather than waiting around for that little pullback. Moderna stalled out at VWAP and is now starting to make its push to the downside. I'll take $1. on the first little bit of this, and then we'll see if we can't retest that low there, guys. So here we go, a bit of a hamster wheel this morning for me because some of the small cap shorts not working out. Moderna, which was kind of the play I thought I'd have at 9:30, is the one I had to wait on the most, and Fuel Cell as well, retesting that 1250. No size this time. I think I'll take that break.
Big day today for sure for everyone here, and you got to watch out what's happening with some of these names. There's Ether. I don't even know why I'm looking at that. Okay, NEO 54.36. A couple nice buys on the downside right now. Let's see where we go from here. But NEO looking to get going here. We're long 36, man. Could we make this even bigger today as it just continues to go to the high side right now? NIO. Let's see where we go. We now average price 54.36. Been a good stock for us. Microsoft pulling back a bit. What's up, Brent?
Another one from the industrials group just popping up here, guys. ACM, this is a construction company, just broke 53. Recent highs here above that pivot there on the daily chart. 6.25%. Yeah, this Oracle Capital acquiring their civil construction unit from ACM. So big move here, 6% for them, guys.
There's I'll have to not pull up that chart. I'll go with the 1 minute here on FCell. My 15 not really working, but that break on 1250 just happened again, and I take the retest because there was no size there. It just feels like it's very, very strong. The pullback was not as deep as I was expecting, and the snap up was rather violent. So we're going to continue this run, as Sean mentioned. Look, if it's going to be true that they're calling this the Dem way here, you got to look at some of these themes, and we talked about clean energy as one. 1275 area is going to be the next test, and then we'll get some out in front of that, and 13 even. Sundial, and this isn't, like I said, if you like some of these to the bullish side, fair enough. It was either going to be CGC or Sundial for me that would fade, and even with that news, it's selling off anyways, guys. So 65s, 63s, 64s, I've shorted all of those prices. 54 is where it closed yesterday. I'll definitely take a bunch of shares off in front of 60 even, because that's a psychological level, so worth taking those profits off on at least half the position. If it breaks 60, the floodgates could really open up. The NASDAQ is running to the upside. FCell good. Moderna stalling for me here, guys. It's been a good one, but the line of the sand is sort of in for me on Moderna. And if it breaks this 113, I'm going to have to get out. If it does hold that low of the day, I'll consider, like if it bounced off 110.50 without filling me, I'll probably move my stop into VWAP here, make sure I lock in that profit. Brennan, what's up?
Speaking of liquid stocks, GE just popping up here, guys. Look at the move for GE, 1080 to 1125. Also approaching recent highs up here. Another one that you can consider from the industrials group, guys.
Yeah, GE, that's a big call for me. I'm long at 1050. That one has struggled a bit. So for some reason, DraftKings, not for some reason, but DraftKings coming back down to $50 here. Sorry, we're on I don't know. I thought it was on Palantir here, but DraftKings, okay, coming back down to 50. So we're going to get out when it breaks. So it's going to break right now. We'll give it a couple more pennies to the downside, and then our trigger will hit, and we will get out of DK. And there it is. So now we're out of DraftKings. Still a profitable stock, but we did slip up on this last part. We did take a little bit out there and then out on DraftKings. But this is what I'm talking about when you talk about risk management there. A $1.50 win to a 30-cent loss. So we'll take that. Oh, and then we do have a negative stock here, man. NEO breaks. NEO breaks 54. It is what it is. It keeps going to the downside there. So that breaks and we get out. So we tried NEO. I just got to make sure I don't get back in there. I had too many scripts to cancel. So that one to the downside. Now we look to see, does NEO get a base down here somewhere where we can play this to the long side? But why it was on Palantir was, I love Palantir. Oh, you have something? Okay.
No, NEO on that bottom, but look at this double top on XPeng at the exact same moment as NEO testing that low. Double top 43 XPeng, and I'm like, that's a heck of an opportunity to short it. And obviously, these are two different names, but if I can catch this right off the high of the day when maybe it's about to follow suit, I'm going to go ahead and jump into that almost every single chance I get. Now, 96 is the top, and 43 is going to be the obvious place I'll put my stop order.
Yeah, okay, yeah, XPeng, good call. We get a lot of people asking us about XPeng and NEO. Obviously, they're well traded and well owned by our viewers as well. So what's up? Thank you, Gander Farms, right there for that super chat. And guys, don't be shy with the super chats. I lost $545 on my options. We're at 13 now. It's at 1 cent.
I don't know what
13 cents to 10 cents.
What was that, sorry?
You shouldn't have lost that much money, but okay. All right, we'll see about options. Look, if I don't know what option you're talking about, I can give you some help there, Gander, if you let me know. Okay, Palantir right here, 24.25 I like as a break. It's still down. We still could retest these bottoms, but I don't mind this 24.25 on Palantir. A beloved name that really has had its problems getting going, and I don't need to tell you guys that. We're just still in this loop here, looping around. Gets down to 23, back up to 28, and so on and so forth. So let's see how many times it wants to do that. I think Palantir's a screaming buy somewhere down here at 22, 23, but that could also break back down to 50-day period moving average. So watch out for that one. We can check back on some Roku here. I only have Uber long right now. We'll look to get longer on that name.
Yeah, and so FSL pulls back in here, so I'm going to punch through on a Moderna here as it does test that low. It just bounced off of the current low of the day, but I'm already going to be in and out. Take my profits, that 112.50 down to that 110.50 area. So you get like that $2 move, bank it and run. XPEV is running in the money for me. FSL's pulled all the way back to break even, but it's just the second you see something like this, and I happened to be looking at XPeng when Sean brought that up, and it was like I was looking at that top, kind of considering where I would get in, and then the second I saw Sean show Neo at the bottom, I just punched into the short. If it gets down towards that 42, worth taking some profit out for like a 50-cent win, and then if it runs all the way down to this bottom here, 41.50 was the pullback. If it gets to that price, I'd certainly take another leg off.
Yeah, and I just think it's super important to understand, guys, that Neil and I, although, I have, 19 years now? Oh, man, I'm too old, of experience, and Neil, something similar there. We can have opposite ideas on our plays, right? So you could definitely watch out for that coming through. It doesn't matter, but he's right. Like, sometimes if you're trading Neo, look to another name that you like an XPEV, to see what's happening there. This is a Roku daily chart. I don't want that. I want this. So here we go. Roku right now. Yeah, nice bottom at 320, but I'm still looking at this level, 330 break. So we'll go long if it breaks through 330, but we need the NASDAQ to reverse course here, and we'll take this Roku long 330. Some decent numbers for them today. Again, I don't know much about Roku. I do now know some people that own a Roku, as they've been tweeting at me, and Roku's a solid, man. I'm not going to stand in the way of this train either. So 330 break on Roku, I'll take that.
Yeah, I'm going to jump back over to this ISR just because after a couple of halts, it's actually looking like it's going to be a reasonable trade. Now, I got out of this one, rather quickly at that 161. You sort of saw that live as I was chasing up and just wanted to get out of the rest of the position, anticipating it would run to this 175. It has held 175, which is the last number that I was mentioning to you guys. If it breaks this price, I look for a break long. Just a momentum style play. I wouldn't hold that very long. But either way, I'm going to work off of 175 only now. I'm either shorting 72, 73, or breaking long at that price. At Fuel Cell is coming right back to that 12. I'll try one more shot at this. If it bounces off 12 even, and I can pick some more shares up, I'm going to go ahead and do that and reload into Fuel Cell. I thought this would be way stronger than it is so far. That 1250 retake looked like it was going to have it going to the moon, and I got greedy for sure on that one.
All right, so I've found myself in trouble a lot trying to chase dreams, when we are in, see again, there's my chart not changing again, but 54 and change here on Neo. We're gonna go long 54, so watch out for that to pop through my blotter. $54, you'll see it at the bottom. We're gonna go long Neo, but right now, it's a segment we call Happening Now. So let's find out in the broader markets what's going on. There's Neo.
Hey guys, yeah, 10 o'clock. Let's have a look at North American markets. Pretty much status quo. As we saw in the pre-market here, we saw tech stocks to the downside. They have accelerated, you can see, into negative territory where the Dow and the S&P, the S&P kind of flat, but the Dow kind of accelerating the opposite direction. So the Dow 30 showing relative strength. You can see 0.8% to the upside, S&P 0.2%. Tech stocks negative, the 100 specifically, 1.3% to the downside, as we said. The Russell, 1.8% in positive territory. Here in Toronto, about 0.5% for the TSX. Down in Brazil, also in positive territory, 0.16%. A couple of things from the watch list, guys, to keep in mind. Fubo TV, yeah, they sold it this time, $29 down to $25.50. That was a decent bounce and opportunity at $27.50 there. Right off the open, so there was a little bit of a bounce initially, but day lows for Fubo TV. The selling continues. BTBT, we had a decent move in the pre-market as far as Bitcoin is concerned, and then it got kind of choppy. So we're here in a $1.50 range, $27 up to $28.50. Either side of that coin breaks, you might get a move on BTBT. Guys, back to you.
BTBT, you say? Okay. All right, so we are averaging to NEO here. We did take a couple trades here, 53.66, but now we're popping to the high side. So 87 our average price on NEO. I can live with that. Let's see how high it goes upside right now on NIO. 50, what did I say it was? 53.87. Yeah, 88. You see it on the screen there. So right now, back into positives as we defend this 53.50 level. I've done, like I said, I've done this a lot. Like we did take that 54 break there, so that's where we average in. Now we got an average price of 88, right? So you got to watch out for NEO here. I still think we can go high, but we got to watch out because today, NEO rewarding shorts, not longs. So let's watch out for that. But here we go. Nice little 7, 8, 9, 10 cents now in the money on NIO. So that's still going. So we're pretty happy with that. Tesla, I mean, we go from one electric vehicle maker in China, the largest there, over to the largest in the world when I think it's like almost one of the largest car companies in the... I got to find out its market cap right now, what Tesla is, because this is just going off right now. Pretty choppy day here for Tesla. I don't want to touch this, especially if there's going to be a reweighting into some of these NASDAQ names. And what I mean by reweighting, I mean in longer term portfolios, like with Biden coming in, we do hear some rhetoric about the NASDAQ. In the ES today, positive 1%, NASDAQ down 1.2. You just saw Brendan talk about that. So let's watch out for Tesla. But Tesla gets near 720. I think that's a portfolio ad.
Yeah.
Where's Roku?
I mean, that's I wanted that 787 so bad today. And of course, you want something, it's just not going to happen for you. There is that test of 750, which I was waiting for, that just happened here. And of course, I'm basically taking a bathroom break as it goes. Fuel Cell just went back to the upside. I didn't get the reload. We are still in the money in that one. If Tesla comes back down and consolidates at 750, I'll take a shot at it. Sundial just now broke through this 60 level, so you can rewind the tape on this one a little bit earlier, but you could probably also just rewind the tape to like any day in the last like month or so when I've been not liking this stock. So again, we're going to continue to get out of this short. I think it has a shot to go to 54, maybe 54, 55, which is yesterday's close. Be happy if it does. But Fuel Cell, the story for me, just had to hang on to this one. And it's just not necessarily aggressive enough. It retests this. It retests off 12. I wasn't aggressive enough getting shares off of VWAP when it went again, but I'm trying to hold. We've added multiple times here. My average price is not going to be 50. It's actually going to be in this range at 30 because of this buy down here at 12.13 at VWAP, which was probably the best execution I had. You can see me offering around that 12.75 because that's the next leg where I think I want to take some profit. Got to break the high of the day first. I feel like Fuel Cell should be a little bit stronger than it is, but it's trying here to the top side, guys. Only 20 cents in the money. I'm looking 40 or 50.
Okay, guys, there's NEO. Look at this break, man. We got out 54.30 some shares there. So now we're only holding that 30% left on what we had. Look at this reload. 53.60, guys. Bang. Out there, 53.90. I mean, there, that's the break, 54, right? So we took some more at 54.90. We took some more at 54.30. And a nice little out to the upside. Oh, yeah, and while we were with Neil there, Roku breaks 3.30. We take $1 on a third of that. Now we look for higher moves on Roku. We need the S&P and the NASDAQ to go, or else Roku will fall back down. But that's why we put that in our pocket. So 330.16 in, out 75. So I guess a nice 60-cent win there. And here we go. Roku to the moon. Let's go, guys. It's a chicken dinner winner. What do you want for dinner? But you could probably have prime rib if you have some of these plays today. But 330 to the high side right now. Roku still ripping up. We take 50 cents on the first bit. Now we're in the money 75 cents. Let's just see how high this one wants to fly, man. I do have orders above 31.32. I'm sitting right there. That's me. Let's go. Boom. There it is again, guys. Now it's a cowbell type of winner. We're at our highest spot today. We only have one losing trade today, and that is... No, that is nothing right now because NEO making the move back to the upside. No losing trades today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for 8. Let's go, guys. Big day.
And if NEO's going up, that means look at the bounce right here on XPeng. So you got the rollover at 43. It bounced off 42. I did take some profit out, but as NEO heads back up, XPeng heads right back to that top side. It tests 43 again here. Well, I should say it's testing 43 again. I've rolled back into position essentially at the same price we had before. Now we're just going to see if we can get another bounce into 42 where I would definitely take profit off. If NEO's going to break VWAP, this is going to break 43. You know that's where my stop is, Brendan.
Penny stock trying to make a run at $1 here, guys. Guardian Health, GHSI. Let me just double check that. It is, yeah, Guardian Health Sciences Incorporated, GHSI, 65%. $1 right here, staring it in the face. Volume coming into this name as well. They appointed a new CEO today for GHSI, guys.
Okay, yeah, we will look at some of those names, but right now, man, we are celebrating the crap out of some of these trades, man. This is $1 in the money now for NEO as this continues to rip higher. We gave this one to you. I told you 54 break, 54.50 is right there. Roku. Bang! We talked about Roku early, man. 330 break. Let's go, Roku. $3 now. So yesterday, $9 winner on Alibaba or $8, whatever it was. Multiple dollars, $7 or $8 on QS. Now we go to the high side on Roku, guys. Let's see if we could do it again. $3 in the money now on this Roku trade. $1 there. 40 cents now on Uber. We were bigger on Uber. We were $1 on. We're 80 cents on Uber there. So let's take a little bit more out on Uber, 53.10. And this day is just getting elevated. We dropped down the cash. It's been a monster day. Let's just find some more trades to hit here for you guys. But 8 for 8, I'll take it, man. The run I'm on is just absolutely ridiculous. I hope you guys are having just as much luck as I am. Let's go.
FSL just had a rollover at that same 1265. It was a previous high. I know I said I'd give it to 75, but I saw it consolidate. If I was flat, I'd probably be looking for a scalp short there. That's why I'm going to take some profit off as it gets to that price, and then anticipate another dip here into that 1225 to 1230 area, which has been a good buy so far. So I'm going to stick with that. And again, this is why. If I was flat, I'd be looking for short. If I'm holding along, good place to take profit, and then just rinse and repeat and get a better price. So, that's going to be the line of thinking on that one. Ooh, back above 60 on Sundial, so it is making a bit of room move to the upside. But GHSI just breaking that pre-market top. I don't like any kind of a breakout when it comes to like 90 to 95 cents because that dollar does loom. So if it does get to $1 and start to turn, I'm going to like that scalp trade right into that previous high, that 93 cents, guys. It is coming right now. It's 75 million in volume. You can leverage up, but it's not nearly the liquidity I would expect to see is a little more like we did see at this 95 level as opposed to some of these other prices, guys. So I'm anticipating maybe the same thing at $1. If I do see a few 100,000 shares, probably closer to like 500,000, I'm going to jump into a quick short on GHSI. But this one is a runner, guys.
Okay, yeah, GHSI, good call there. Good call, Neil. Good call, Brendan, on those plays as well. Thanks, Brendan, for going through that. Yeah, I see some comments here that they like it when we get hyped up. So, yeah, hell yeah. I mean, I'm hyped up on this for sure. I mean, it's been just such a big day. We talked about the success recently that we've had, and it just sort of continuing right now through to today. So, yeah, I'm pretty pumped up right now. This is a $3 win on Roku, guys. I gave this 330 level to you, almost as clear as day, and now we're ripping up to the high side right now. Looking back on Roku, like where do we get out? We have this 334, 335. Can we take $5 on Roku? Let's see. I like ye a lot. 335 on Roku. Let's see if we can't get out. But look at the NASDAQ, man. Just getting elevated right here. NEO, just monster win here. Uber, just go to the highs of the day. Again goes Uber. But it's a good time, that's for sure, to be a bull. But we got to ring the register at some point, right, Brendan?
Indeed. 9 meter, guys. Another biotech here just popping up on volume. NMTR, if you're looking for a little one with ties to the cannabis sector. 125 held a couple of times at the bottom. 2 days in a row on the cannabis news. NMTR, guys.
Right. I did just get into that GHSI that Brendan had mentioned. It's in front of that dollar range, so I got 98.5 is going to be my price. Now, as I said, it's a bit of a scalp play. I don't know why this is not, you know what? Oh, that's my daily chart there. So executions, I had to reset these executions on all my charts. I don't want to show it on the daily. I'll show you on the 1 minute chart. Executions on the daily don't really make a lot of sense. But back into this 93, I think it's going to be a good scalp play. There's a good shot it's going to test this maybe more than once. If I happen to have the top, that I might have gotten out of this a little bit early, but, anytime it's a pre-market breakout price at like a 92, 93 into that dollar, I do expect it's going to make another run. And that's why I want to make sure I'm taking some profit in that like 5 penny range, which is the first target usually on these types of plays, guys.
All right, we're gonna treat this. I'm gonna say at Jim Cramer on some of these plays because I want this guy. I've gone back and forth with Jim Cramer a couple times on Twitter. So yeah, we like that one. It's all about education, but we will talk about Roku right now. I like this 330. Oh, I didn't have an order there. Did I put an order? No, I did not. Okay, 334, 335 there would have been a good out. So I think this is a decent spot. 334.40. So if we just get one little boost back up, we will take that $4 or $5. Or sorry. $4 and change. Here it comes right now. We could take this out if we want to, which I think we probably should. It just failed right there. I don't know what this NASDAQ's going to do. Like, how good is my Microsoft? Jesus, Microsoft right now, chicken dinner winners, my favorite stock, but we did dump this here as Microsoft right now. Look at that long, 213.50 as well, still moving to the upside. So a good out on Microsoft. Uber there, guys, just takes out the day's high. So again, like, I don't know what to keep hitting here. Maybe we need some new animations, but let's just do Slaying Dragons today, and we will review. I'm at the highest spot. Things running, man. Roku now $5 in the money. It just touched 335. So let's just keep on going, man. We gave this stock to you. I hope you're having a good time on the show.
I just realized there's a use for a button that's been here for a while, and you guys probably haven't seen it. GHSI, you can call any one of these like penny stocks running. There's a lot of these dead cat bounces, and that's actually what happened here off of like a 70 to 75. But the fade is always going to be off that $1 range. The thing to keep in mind here is it's a failed breakout. It's a bit of a breakout, through the pre-market high, which runs into resistance at a psychological level. You get sell-off, profit taking from the long at the bottom, profit taking from the breakout, panic selling from anybody that's like, oh, I'm holding on that breakout, I want to make some money on it. That's why I'm using that exact same range. 98, right into what I said, 93 to get out of most of it. I'm going to hang on to the last little 15% just to see if it actually goes a little bit further than this. Brendan?
Well, I feel like we haven't had some good SPAC news for a few days at least, but Silver Spike Acquisition Corporation, if you remember this one from a month or two back, guys, this is the Weed Maps SPAC. So SSPK, cannabis SPAC, just breaking 15.5 there on volume, guys.
Okay, there it is. Bang! There it is. We spin that money around, guys. Yeah, we will look at that cannabis SPAC in a second. But there's Roku, guys. A smooth $4 there. $4.23 to be exact, as we get out right there. Like we say, 334.57. And I'm saying, guys, let's get Kramer on the show. But we do have January 15th. What day is it now? The 6th. So again, Mr. Kevin O'Leary will be here, and I'm going to talk to him all about day trading as well, and his opinion on that, as I have a feeling we'll go back and forth a little bit on that one, talk about some of his plays for the new year, and just see his opinion on whatever is the topic of that day. But less than 2 weeks now, January 15th, and we'll have Kevin O'Leary on, and then more guests to come as the show continues to rip up. So yeah, big time there. So the only trade I have on, guys, again, we're pretty light right now. We've hit our goal a couple times, and now, as we say, 8 for 8, I think it was right now. But NEO turns into a beautiful win off 54 again here. We're still climbing to the high side. NEO's going to be my least stock taking profits on, but here we go to the high side. NEO now ripping up, guys.
Yeah, and there's those fuel cell again to a new high. I just got out at that high of day there. Well, not all entirely out, just got another leg here at 68 with the 69 tops. This was level, I don't know if I showed you because of my 15 minutes was having issues, but this was that level previously, 1220. That was the breakout price. It's actually where we got a little bit of a dip the first time that I had to take out, and where I actually bought on the way back in. So bought in front of 1220. Bought at 1230 on this little break, and then I bought again on a 1250 break. So 3 separate entries to the long side, basically off the same move. If we get to 13 now, I'd take some out at that price and then see if we can't hold on for dear life. I do still have a little bit of that GSHI position, which is now testing $1 again. That's not that big of a level. So, I'm not, I don't even want to reload on this one, and I'm just gonna hang on to see if it's gonna be, again, it's like 15%. If it's a failed break, I would re-enter into the short position below $1. Otherwise, I might just take this out at that $1 if it does hold, guys.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking through the list here, see if we can't find something else to trade that we really maybe haven't been on yet. Okay, we can look at some AMD here. I mean, NEO coming back in, we're light. We have very small position on less than 10% of this, because you can see 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and then for some reason I still have 10% left. What's up, Brad?
How about this one? 4% for JP Morgan, guys. Day highs for JP Morgan on a volume spike there.
Yeah, and here goes, and Morgan Stanley as well. I'm kicking myself over Morgan Stanley. I have written down on my list, and again, you're going to have a lot of stocks on your list. 7,070, I forgot to put a decimal in, and 7,770 what I was looking at on the dip buy. At the open, there was a shot to get it if you were very, very fast. It is now approaching those highs. One of the things we said with Mark is, regardless of how this goes today or in the next couple of days, whenever the results come in, The banks have multiple headwinds anyways, so it almost shouldn't matter. There's still good buys even at the top, and Morgan Stanley certainly proving that. I'm going to like any kind of a pullback into like 71.50 if we can get there, maybe even at 72 where there was consolidation earlier. I'm about to reload in some fuel cell. That's back down below that 1250 mark.
Oh man, like I'm just gonna hit again the you know, whatever, what is this, backflips? There, backflips again. I like that suit. I don't know if that suit would fit me exactly, but JP Morgan to the high side there, 131. We just talked about it. Thanks, Brendan, for that. Those of you that have been watching the show know we're hella long. JP Morgan down here, sub 100 for sure. We saw this beautiful base being built. And then again, if you were watching us back in July, another reason why to watch, man, I try to do both. Try to give you, you know, the plays here intraday, and then try to give you some decent plays for longer term. And those of you that have been on, watch the show. I talked about JP Morgan, love their dividend. Obviously, the reinstatement of the dividend and being able to buy back some shares there as we go. But 92, 92.50, man. What a big run that's been for JP Morgan. And guess what? I'm not getting out. So JP Morgan, no need to get out of that one. Another long-term play that we gave you, or that I gave you guys back at 116 was Peloton. And you could see why. You saw some bunched up levels there. We were going to go 116 in and then, you know, get out if it did break that back down below. So we did enjoy all of this move, but then we got greedy and we didn't get out. So right now I'm looking to get out if it breaks below 140. I have a stop limit on my account, so I don't need to worry about that one. But that is Peloton. And just looking at it today, down 5%. And again, as the virus hopefully starts diminishing, it doesn't look like it with the numbers, but as the vaccines start coming into play, we will see stocks like Peloton, and that's why I said let's focus over maybe on Planet Fitness a little bit more. I think that's a New York stock. Yes, it is. So there you go. So Planet Fitness today, I gave this to you in the pre-market, 74, 75, 76 now. Liquidity not bad, spread not bad. So maybe we got to add this one to our portfolio to trade here on the show. But there it is again, guys. We can kick up our it hasn't been a roller coaster today, but I'll hit it anyways. We can kick our feet up right now at our highest spot of the day. And once again, here goes Neo. Let's go. Good stretch, Valeria.
Valeria getting the stretching because it's one of those days. You got to stay limber. Certainly when you sit in a chair all day long, you should probably get up every now and then so the back doesn't get messed up. I want to come into this JAGX just because I'm scouting just this level here. I see consolidation in the pre-market. This is like a day 2, day 3, whatever you want to call it type of play. And this consolidation right at 202, you have a pre-market bottom, an opening range bottom as well. If we break down below that price, I know $2 looms. That's why I would put the sell order through a 2 break and not 202. It just feels like if we get down there, JAGX, it's having some trouble. The volume's tapering off. It's up 8%. This stock has already done a bit of a pullback off from that $3 run yesterday, and it's having some trouble breaking past the afternoon range. If it rolls over, I want that short through 2. It's got to have my order locked and loaded. Fuel cell, I'm going to go right back to this name because I'm going to start scalping 25 pennies at a time here just to switch it up. If I just did get this dip at 12.35. If it gets back up to the 55 to 60 range, I'll certainly take some profit out. It just feels like at some point we're going to break below VWAP, but each time it's bounced to the downside, it's been a little bit deeper than expected, so you do have to give it some room on these pullbacks, and they've been worth it so far, so patience is going to have to be a virtue with fuel cell, it seems like today. I just thought it would go a little faster. It's still been a winner, just not nearly the way I was expecting it to happen, guys.
Yeah, fuel cell, good name there. I mean, some of these stocks have a lot of room, guys, like fuel cell, like Plug Power. And remember, we do have, you know, I guess, can we call him president yet? I guess president-elect still. Joe Biden going to be coming through eventually, I guess. Oh, come on, there we go. The chart's not loading again. Plug.NQ. So there is going to be a lot of talk here about these names. So even though we've talked about Plug numerous times, I still think that there is room to run on some of these, especially when you look at the daily chart. I still think we could take out highs, and we're not too far away. But watch out for Plug Power. Definitely worth buying anything on a dip. But I'll give you my more important Roku, guys. Roku just continues to go here. 330, that's the daily chart. Look at this trade on Roku, guys. 330 long. It's at 337 right now. So we dumped that a little too early, but hey, we're just adding, just topping the cake up today. What's up, Brendo?
Hey guys, yeah, let's go to small cap world. Very strong today, right across the board as far as small caps are concerned. Don't sleep on this one, BNGO. No additional news as far as bio-nano genomics is concerned, but we're still in this kind of choppy mess from yesterday. It was a fairly wide range as far as yesterday was concerned. 570 down to about 470, so $1 to work with. Showing strength early. It did give you a quick scalp to the downside. We're back above 5, so 540 and then 570, the levels I'm watching just from yesterday throughout the midday here came into play for BNGO, but overall pretty strong so far. AIKI, mentioned this one right before the open. Yeah, I was mentioning 150. If you go back to the IPO day, that was the high, 150. We got up to 155, ended up being the level. There was a spike higher that got me out, but back in again, trying to work this back to the downside through to $1 for AIKI. Psilocybin news for AIKI. There was one more I was going to show you, but looks like the chart is gone, so we'll throw it back to Neil.
Thank you very much there, Brendan. Just going to get another look at Sundial in a second, guys. But I want to bring you back to a name that we were talking about with Mark a little bit earlier, the GAN, another way to play in the gaming industry here. I was looking at a dip for like a 2025. There was just no liquidity pre-market. It doesn't do a ton of volume, but certainly a bit of a lag. Well, at least it was a bit of a lagger, now breaking out of that $20 range. It does feel like it's on that Marsh's 25, 26 area where there was a little bit of chop, the lower high it put in coming back from the that sort of middle of summer, I guess, top at like 29. So I think that's the short-term swing target, that 25 range. If you can catch some dips on it, fantastic. Just be careful with it. It's not necessarily the best day trading vehicle. There was a breakout trade here at 21.20 a little bit later on in the session, and the volume for GAN is pretty good, but it's 750,000 is not necessarily the best day trading stock for a $20 name, guys. That's just the way it's going to be. Fuel cell, it is coming back in. I do have a couple of orders in here to go with one here to get some out around that 1260. I will play a dip if it comes down again, but I'm going to let it go through VWAP here because the last test, I was sort of expecting it to bounce off of that 12 of what was VWAP at the time, 1225. It went right through. I wasn't prepared to get into that long in that way, so this time I'm going to allow it to dip through that price. If it stalls out at 1215, I'm likely to grab something in the 20 to 25 range on fuel cell. Some of you guys have been asking about Sundial. Someone said this morning, why was I shorting this name? As cannabis was strong, it's because I always do. Whenever there's good news in the cannabis sector, because the fade trade is always good, or usually good, I should say. Now we're retesting back around this last hump, 62.5. If it breaks through there, there was still this 63 level, which was good to me for a short trade. So I'm going to hold off on doing anything until we actually test maybe a cent or two higher, and then catch a bit of a rollover in Sundial. I'm still holding a small amount of that position. I have taken most of it out for some profit. XPeng, on the other hand, we had a good short on for this one. The first one was good. Took a nice little winner off of VWAP, then reloaded. It broke 43. The breakout is sort of on in this name. I would still prefer it. I think NEO's probably the better play if you're looking for the long trade. But 45 is a reasonable target on XPeng if it does bounce back and maybe give you one of those fail break consolidation down around that 43 and then goes the second time. I'd be looking for that up to 45. But this is going very slowly, and it's been relatively weak. Something we talk about here, if you want to contrast it to the way that some of these other names have moved in terms of how rapid through that breakout is. So we'll see what happens. I'm waiting for a bit of a dip in XPeng before I actually like the long. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
My daily chart has frozen, guys, but we'll show you Bed Bath & Beyond again. I was trying to think. It was either 3 or 4 days in a row. We've seen quite the move for BBBY. So retailers definitely strong on the day again. 8% just took out the day high for BBBY.
And speaking of highs and day highs, we just finished talking. Well, we talked about this one with Mark, and for those of you that were following along, one of the themes that I always thought was going to be true at the end of the year was infrastructure no matter what. U.S. Steel already made 2 moves to the upside, but one of them stalled out at $20 already. You have seen it make this high before. This is right in the middle of December here at 20 even. It's right back to that same price. I said with Mark I would take a shot fading off of this, and it's not a bad place to take profit. And then maybe wait for a 20 break for people that have not gotten into this name already. It has to break through, and then it'll likely even give a couple of days consolidation above unless things get crazy with this vote. I'm going to fade it first as long as I see what I like on the level 2, which I'll give you a live look of right now. I don't know, my scroll bar is not working, but I have to. I don't know why my scroll bar isn't working. I can't see the 20 level. If it gets there in their size, I'm going to be fading off of U.S. Steel at that price, guys.
Okay, so we still. Oh, come on, Roku. Look at this trade. I guess I'll have to tweet this one out as well. That we dumped this one a little bit too early, a $10 winner for Roku there. Yeah, I hope you guys still have it. Let me know in the chat if you still do have this one. Wow, what a... I keep on saying this, but whatever, man. We'll just, we'll say train, because obviously we should have stayed here. Instead, we take, like, I thought a $4.50 win there on Roku was decent. And it was, but we shouldn't have took these off for $1 and then $1.50, a third out. I wish we still had some on board, but wow, Roku to the high side there. Yeah, thanks. Okay, there you go, guys. Thank you for all of this talk, man. Thanks for the Roku call. Oh, Roku CEO. Okay, I didn't know that one. Choo choo. Yeah, everyone loving the trades here today. You still have Roku. Congratulations, Nuno. You love that train animation, everything. Yeah, it does happen, man. I mean, what can you do on that one? So yeah, it's just been a big day here for us. Or for me on Roku, but yeah, it could have been a hell of a lot better. Oh yes, I heard Neil talking about infrastructure there, and yeah, so we put this buy out on GE 10% ago. I'm wondering if we need to take profits. This was a big move today, and the reason why I say 10% ago, half the move is today on GE. So we were long right in here, man, 1050. I tweeted that out when we took this position as well. We talked about it on the show. Now we're breaking out. There's no, actually, now that I look at this chart, there's no way in hell I'm getting out, because we are going to break through this 1150, and then it's moonshots up to 13. I mean, G's not going to moon. G's one of those stocks where it's just slow and steady climb. And I like GE off of Boeing, and that's kind of why we did talk about this a little bit. I'm also long Boeing right here, 216. So that one's not as good. And you can see that was sort of right. I think it was right in here. We did. Oh, stop loading up. We did right here take this long on these breaks. We've had Boeing now for about a month and a bit. We didn't get out when it went to 240 because of the same thing. I thought once this broke, we were going to go higher, but we faded off. We touched that 50-period moving average, but we're still going to be hella long on Boeing and looking to get more. Should have. Look at this little drop spot right there. 199.200 should have been taken yesterday and averaged into that position. But yeah, still everything making moves, man. We're doing great today. It's been a fantastic day as we continue to go 8 for 8. And then I just saw that Roku move, guys. $10 now upside. But yeah, I guess we should not have dumped that one.
I did get into US Steel here. I just saw one of my other level 2s, and if it does show up again, there's over 100,000 shares on the offer at 20 even. So that was already a top if you go back a couple of weeks ago. It is currently today's high. I got 94s. I want my average price to work out to be about like 95, 96, but I just feel like here you have to wait to get to like 98, 99. It looks like it is the one to test it, and got my scroll bar working for you guys there so I can actually see these levels. 20 even is definitely worth watching. This is a time of day type of thing. I don't like this play. It's just going to get an order out here at 97. I don't like this type of play, and I wouldn't take it if this was like 9:35 or 9:45. When you start getting into that second hour of the session, you might run into a bit of resistance at these prices. And again, this is random where the first turnaround is, in that first opening range. Once you get to this time, I do like it a little bit better. I will not be breaking into a long trade because I feel like US Steel, usually the type of the name that's going to give you a bit of a dip to get in, and not always a bit of a breakout style stock, but it doesn't mean it can't happen. But I will not be reversing long. It's just a short off that 20 level you guys saw.
All right, guys. Oh, I just saw a super chat there. That's what I was typing about. I did want to give a big thank you. What's up, Chris Munkle? And look, you guys are welcome. I mean, the $20 is very generous. Thank you so much for that. But like Roku and DraftKings, 7X. Look, I mean, the other day when I was saying I was 8 or 9 times, I mean, I'm just super glad that a lot of you viewers are already doing that every day, following the calls that I'm giving you guys. So, Chris, man, thanks for that, and congratulations to you. It's not I'm giving the calls, but you guys are hitting the keys and trusting and having faith in me. So that to me is what it's all about. Miss V, Brendan, what up?
Northern Genesis Acquisition Corporation. I mean, I wish for some SPACs to talk about, and guess what? Now we have SPACs to talk about. NGA teaming up with Lion, an electric vehicle maker as well, popping up here. 12% today, just broke 22 or 23, I apologize, on volume. NGA, another EV SPAC. Valeria is watching what's going on over in Europe this morning. There's an hour left in the session over there. V, what's up?
Hey Brandon, European shares are trading higher, boosted by banks and energy sectors. BP trading in London is up more than 5% as crude prices hit their highest since February 2020. Back to you.
Yeah, energy right across the board again today, guys, going crazy. XOM, I was just going to double check here. Back to the upside again for XOM. Yeah, 2.5% already, guys.
A name that, I don't know, we talked about this one at the end of last year at this price. 25 even on Virgin Galactic there. It just turned off of a 25 even. And again, the last little week or so, it's been a bit of a ceiling. You can certainly see here every time it's tested up. This is like 24.75, and we're trying to get there again on Virgin Galactic. I'm going to like this on a break at some point, but it does feel like the turn is on, at least in the next couple of minutes here. If we do get 25, maybe in the afternoon, or maybe it happens right now in the next few minutes or so, I'm going to like that as a bit of a break. I'd like it much better if we had some sideways consolidation, shake some people out that are already long, and then you get a bit of a better day trade, or just dip back into 24. But space finally back on the radar because it's retesting that 25 level. There was a big crash through this price if you go back into the end of last year, which is, of course, just last week, guys. So 25 on space. Looks like it'll be a good one.
Okay, so new position alert right now. We'll see what's happening. We'll go bang because we're still long sub 10 on Palantir, but we did take that long now, 24.27. We talked about it breaking through 24.25, that we liked it. This was better. Like if I was looking at this a little closer, probably should have gone long at 15 here on some of this consolidation, but we'll take it. We're going to watch out for this 40.45 level on Palantir as well. So here we go. Nicely in the money, 4 or 5 cents. We're up right away to 35. So let's take some off now if we can on Palantir at 32, and there it is, a nice little win to start there again with Palantir. Again, you know, we'll give this all the way back down to here, but if I can just keep on scalping and keep on taking this out on the high side, then I will do that. Speak about scalping, we actually have a video. Oh, and I did want to talk about NEO in a second as well. Oh, and CGC, so stay tuned for that. But we do have members Q&A coming up on January the 11th, which is on Monday. It's $5 a month. This is the only thing we have. If you want to become a member, you can join us. It's actually not with Mark Roberts this time around. I believe it's with Arun, so we need to get that changed. But we will be coming up with Arun on January 11th for that. And what I wanted to show was our video. Like, is that on number 1? Yes, there it is. So chart pattern for beginners. So if you're sitting here and saying like, wow, man, like how did they make that call? Or, you know, what was up with that Roku call? Or NIO, anything here, NEO, NIO, EIO, whatever. Check out our chart patterns because that's up right now in our Market Wisdom. And Valeria can drop that link as well. We will do that. But I'm going to put some orders upside now, 38, 39, and then watch to see what happens through 50. But right now, Palantir, man, like I said, it's a Superman kind of day. We haven't traded Palantir yet, but this is going to be our 9th stock, and we're going to try to go 9 for 9 on this one. So let's wait to see if we can get into the 40s here on Palantir, guys.
Just got another push to the top on fuel cell. Like I said, this one slowing down a little bit, but the grind is definitely on to the upside. So buying the dips and then taking profit. I said I'd start scalping 20 to 25 cents. So, you know, you get that bottom pick 36. I get out essentially around that 60 level, like 22 pennies. So right in that target range. If it dips again, I was willing to let it break VWAP here to take another leg long. If it does break the top, 13 even is certainly the next target. US Steel did break that 20 even. I didn't reverse to the long side, guys. I just got that short at 97 and then out there when it broke 20 even. Brendan, what's up?
I mentioned energy names, and just like that, RDS.B just popped up on a volume scanner, guys. 5% now, 25% yesterday. Another 5% on top of that, 38.75 for RDS.B, guys.
All right, so Palantir, actually, I wasn't even able to cancel my 38s there. So we get in, out, that's a quick 13 penny winner there. We'll hold the rest for 40s and 50s and then see what happens to the upside on PLTR going. But again, you know, this just looks pretty sweet. We will take that long there and now see to the upside. And again, follow on Twitter if you do have a chance. I'm posting all of these. And not only that, but like it goes, I'll put it in the chat right now. Follow us all on Twitter as we continue to post up, guys, our breaks and our plays. And that's why I want you to check out that video on chart patterns because it really does help understand some of the mentality, some of the setups that we're looking for, and definitely what I like, and what Neil, Brendan, we're all on the video. So you could definitely check that out. But there it is, Palantir. So now we only have 40% left on this position. Let's see if we get into the 50s. I do like this one for a long. Let's revisit maybe DraftKings now. 50-57, still long 50 there. We're out, but we got out when it broke through. But this stock now, I talk about it. I don't like to trade this thing intraday. I like the moves in the pre-market and or right off the open. So DraftKings gives you some nice little profits, and then now it's not really doing anything. Oh, I said I'd talk about CGC. Good win here. It does break view up. I didn't have an order out. That's my bad. We had to wait for it to break 50. Once it does, we get out there. But now look at this, a nice little move up as it's looking more and more like, I mean, I don't know when it's going to get announced, but it's going to be a clean Democratic sweep there in Georgia. So 31, that doesn't mean that marijuana is going to be legalized or anything. It just means a little bit of a cleaner path there for that. So 31.60 now to the upside. I like this. Like, look, we already got out at the high of the day, literally at the high of the day right there. As you can see, 31.80, 81 or so, we got out. So we're going to take a long if it does break that. So I'm still pretty positive about that, and a 55-cent win right now for NEO.
And I'm going to go back to Fubo if I can. There was that little drop here. And now, of course, I had a bit of a long earlier. I got that 27.60. There was some for some profit, and then we took a hit, small hit on the rest of it. Now, if we get and hold above VWAP, which we're trying to do now at that 27 price, it's just one of those, it's come so far down. I'm going to prefer the risk to reward to the long. But if it retakes this afternoon low at 26.75, it's probably going to be a continuous fade trade. So I wouldn't touch it in the middle, and that's going to be 27 to that 26.75. But certainly a long on a breakout of 27.50 here. See if we can't retest that 29 with a 26.75 stop. I like the risk to reward there. So going to try Fubo here. That's also 27.33. So right in the middle of that sort of target range here is going to be yesterday's close. So it's also a negative to positive story on the stock for the day. Brennan?
Speaking of things moving to the upside, here's U.S. Steel once again. We mentioned this one earlier, but just made a day high, 11% above this high now, which is 52-week highs for U.S. Steel. I just double-checked on Georgia as well, guys. Still nothing called officially. They're dealing with 0.4 of a percentage difference between the two still, with 98% of the vote counted. So might be a while still. They're in the process of getting, but less than 0.5% between the two still.
Yeah, and it's sort of worth noting that even if it does go, like you have that 50-50, you'll still have a little bit of a gridlock, probably just a little bit more, I guess, watered down in terms of what does come out of any bills or any policy through. So just keep that in mind as well. I mean, the market is certainly reacting as if this is going to be an absolute game changer. That's why I think it was going to be a bit overdone overall in the tech space. And I thought a couple of days you'd be able to buy this to the long side on dips. Looks like maybe you can do that today. U.S. Steel, I thought this would be a pullback. This is going to be a tight stop trade. If you ever see a short on something which is just working off of size in level 2, that's like risking 2 or 3 cents to try and make 5 to 10, right? So it's very, very different from like taking a rollover trade in Moderna and trying to make a bunch of, like $1, $2 off of it. This is literally playing size. Reversing to the long, I didn't like because I really thought U.S. Steel wouldn't have this type of juice to it. I even was talking about that. If you didn't have that 10 or that 15, we were talking about it last year. Maybe have you missed the party and then wait for a 20 break? I would add in small pieces personally here. I just feel like it's going to be ripe for a bit of a pullback at some point. But today, it is off to the races. You don't usually see the stock up 11%, but it's literally doubled in a month. So I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
Okay, yeah, stock's doubling in a month. That's yeah.
U.S. Steel doubling in a month. I mean,
yeah, I know. I mean, that's some of these stocks are just crazy right now, and you got to watch out for that. I do see somebody talking here on the chat, and I did want to address it here. It's 10:40. It's where was it? Yeah, okay. So JR Gaming kind of answering it right there. Someone said, "Should I get out of CGC?" There it is, right there, James. Yeah, and I was going to answer the same thing there. What JR Gaming said there. It just does depend. Oh, thank you for becoming a new member there, David Lafferty. Look, those member chats are really fun. So I just encourage everybody to join it if you can. That's for sure. But okay, one thing about CGC is this. It just depends. I'm gonna call it up here. We don't really have it going back to the NY. We have to backfill that. But today this was a great trade for me going long. If you look at a daily chart though, and again we are missing a couple days here, but like we've already broken out. So to get out now, depending on how many shares you have and possibly where you're in, this is good. I would say take out like 20% on this breakout maybe might be a win for you, but I would obviously hold on to my CGC here as it's broken out. If you are nervous about it, give it back to 29 at least, guys. What's up, Red?
Another one to look at, guys, we're just looking at the sectors, but CBAT, we've talked about this one many times, another clean energy name. It was a little late to the party here this morning. This is 10:20 right here before this thing started to go. 5:30 to 6:30 in a straight line. 22% now for CBAT, which is that CBAK energy, guys.
Okay, we talked a little bit about some of these. Sean was mentioning G with reference to Boeing here. That just bounced to like a $5-6 move from the bottom. I'm just gonna throw the 15-minute chart up here. You do like some of this range, and the reason why I'm not going to be taking like a 215 break to the long side is just to give you this look at what happened at these prices recently. 217, immediately 218, a bit of resistance. So I feel like it's going to be a way better to catch Boeing off of these levels around 213. That way you can take profit in front of 215 as a bit of a day trade. If it breaks out, that'll be more like a $3-4 winner before you run into that resistance, as opposed to trying to catch that 215 where it might be $1.50 worth of upside before it slows down, guys. So that's going to be my look at Boeing here. If it does dip back into that 213 range, closer to VWAP, we're going to try a bit of a long trade here. Market's still running up, but the NASDAQ, 0.5% down. Let's see what some of these other sectors are doing with Brendan at the big screen.
Yeah, trying to push higher, guys. We're continuing into positive territory. You can see nicely here. Financials, we have industrials, material stocks, and the energy group wanted to point out way over in the corner today, but all but one in positive territory for the energy stocks. So let's start with material names. VMC, MLM, CF, FCX, to name a few. 6.5 to about 9% to the upside. This entire group, though, in positive territory, as we've already discussed a few. Healthcare stocks worth having a look at as well, especially the equipment makers standing out this morning over top of some of the pharmaceutical and biotech companies. Financials, though, let's talk about them. Insurance companies, the entire group in positive territory. Decent gains as well, 7.5 for LNC, 7% for UNM, PRU as well. 6.5% to the upside. So insurance, banks, and diversified all nicely higher. There's a couple here standing out to the downside, though. MKTX and MCO, 2+% in negative territory. Industrial stocks, I've already talked about a number of these this morning. There's one of them, Caterpillar, still there, 5.6%. URI, 8%. GE right below that, 6.5%. Among the leaders. Transportation names not doing quite as well, although these names, the airlines starting to go positive now. Also, we did have a couple of these in negative territory. Now 1+% to the upside for some of the airlines. EFX, though, standing out to the downside, 2.8%. Real quick before we go. Tech stocks did start off very, very strong in the pre-market this morning, especially some of the semiconductors, but coming off once again. You can see here's the semiconductors, AMD, NVIDIA, AMAD, all in negative territory now. Same story with some of the software makers as well, although IBM, WU, and FLT, 3.5% to the upside, so offsetting that a bit. But tech stocks still struggling, guys. Real estate also negative, but overall we are up almost a full percent. Back over to you.
So crazy missed opportunities, guys. Let's go to this. So we did have Microsoft here. We can show that up quickly. And what we did have here, 213.50. But look, here you go. Magic sticky note time. This is what you guys like. Okay, so look at that. Microsoft 215 with lots of stars. It's at 215.60. But look at what else had tons of stars there. Our Facebook, 266 long on Facebook. Unfortunately, I just wasn't paying enough attention. I hope you guys were. Look at this. Here's the 266. We're at 267 and change right now. So if you guys had that, congratulations again. And I just tweeted up, thank you for all the kind words there, going over things on the chat. And we'll just continue to pump these out for us. And thanks to Brendan for some of those updates as well on some of the moving stocks as we continue to go. Valeria doing a great job on the chat there as well. But yeah, CGC there. I don't know what happened. We had it, I'm not in, but we were looking to take the break there of 31.80. It looks like that may have been the top again. I guess it's just news coming out all over the place here on some of these stocks. I did see a deal come through with NEO, but I did get out when I saw that news. NEO and CBAT possible deals. So Brendan can come up with
Yeah,
that.
that's CBAT just actually just pulling it up here because it's just spiking the upside hard. Actually just pulled back off the 7 even, but I know Brendan's going to probably come with that headline in just a few seconds here. When you play these types of plays, if you don't catch this first sort of sell off at 7 when it was a failed break, I'm not going to chase this one down until I have a firm handle on what the news is going to be. Obviously, if it pulls back into 6, I think that's going to be a consolidation level. But this just sort of picked up, and the volume is still going higher to the high side, and the retest of 7 even does seem a little bit inevitable on a higher time frame look. If I could, my Peloton chart is up for some reason, so my daily not working. Going to have to see where the last level was on the daily here. But yeah, CBAT and NEO with a potential deal here.
Yeah, that's why, and again, that's why I did get out there on that play. So on NEO, just don't know what it means. Like, what if it's an equity deal where they got to give up some shares, right? So you could get some downside move. But here's Palantir. Just to let you know, we were long 25s there. We took out. Again, like each one of these is 20%, so we are still holding 20%. We're going to see what it does on the downside. So we could wind up losing on this, but right now we're not. It's just a matter of in at 27 there, out some 35s, and then out there 20s. So that's like a 7-cent hit there. We took 14, 15 on that side. So we'll see. But Palantir, like, putting me to sleep right now, to be honest with you. So we'll have to wait on Palantir. CBAT still trying to go. And then I think we could watch NEO here on some volume, but we did get down to 53.60 there. So we will see. It sounds like Brendan's coming with something. What's up?
Yeah, so the CBAT tie here, guys, there's no actual combination between the two whatsoever, but CBAK Energy is a lithium miner and creates lithium ion batteries. So NEO just came out and said they plan to launch a version of the Model Y with a lithium ion phosphate battery. So that's the kind of combination there between CBAK Energy, just speculation again. Said they plan to launch a version of the Model Y with a lithium ion phosphate battery. So that's the kind of combination there between CBAK Energy, just speculation, I guess, as far as maybe NEO is going to use the batteries that CBAT makes. Guys.
And this is why I always sort of wait to get the real deal from Brendan here. We're retesting that 7 even. I'm going to have to check in on locates for CBAT, but it might be worth a bit of a retracement play here off that consolidation at 7. I did get that Fubo trade, so it broke 27.50. I got that long, 26.75 was the stop area for that trade. Below there, I think it might just be continued short, but CBAT, I think it has a decent shot to pull back. And 7 even on the 1 minute, just to show you guys, this was that lower high that it had just put in on a fail break of 7. So using that as a bit of an out instead of high of day would be the safer way. That's what I like at this time of day. Have a safer out if you're going to go against the news, guys.
So kind, and I'm going to show this because I know you're watching here, Fernando. Okay, oops. Great show, seriously. Can you be my mentor? Yeah, I think I am trying to be mentors right now. If you just watch the show, that's what we're doing. But thank you, Fernando. Very, very kind words. And at YouTube there, too. Wow, good. Okay, so thank you so much, Fernando, for those kind words. And yeah, I'm trying to be everyone's mentor. And the best part about it is it's absolutely free. So yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying the talk and some of the reasons why I'm picking my positions and just trying to understand what's going on in this head of mine. Sometimes I can't even figure it out. What's up, Brendan?
I just saw a volume spike on this one as well. Speaking of clean energy names, WWR, guys, remember that one? Westwater, not a huge move, just 30 cents, $5 up to 5.30. But the volume, the story here, they announced early on this morning that they sold their North American uranium business. So not lithium or battery related, but another one with a volume spike in that group, guys, WWR.
All right, so literally the timing is almost perfect there. The sideways action continues on CBAT. Just paid like 2.5 cents a share for the privilege of being able to run over at 7 even. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say that because it hasn't actually broken 7 even. I mentioned I like the tighter stop here. If it starts to roll over, there's maybe even a breakdown trade that you can go with. But for me, I like going against, and again, for some of you that watch the chart patterns, and we go over them a little bit here, we talk about these like bull flags. I like going against the grain on those. And of course my math is bad. I shouldn't be long this stock. And there we go. See if I can't get out of this one. This is ridiculous. I actually went bad math there. Quickly had a stop out on that short trade. Looked to be getting more shares, but never got the execution. So of course I had a little bit of a long. We'll take that one out as well. But if it breaks the top, I'm going to look to see if we get a fail break, which means stalling out at 750, then jump back into it again. Usually, if you get this type of a secondary move, I'm expecting not as big of a push to the upside as you had from this 620, right? So it went like $1, like 80 cents to $1 on the first push. I would anticipate a little bit less than that. So I won't touch this short unless it's about 750. If it does go a full buck, I'll sort of back off here. But anticipating this little push here might not be as deep as the first one. And again, if it's going to be a rumor, that's why I like shorting up that consolidation, guys.
Okay, yeah, just typing out here. I was looking at some stocks that are sub-dollar. So some of the stocks that we have here at Trader TV Live, we're unable to trade them if they don't do enough volume. So I was just seeing some talks there on the chat. So I wanted to check out a name, but yeah, we do not have it. Okay, JP Morgan. Wow, this is definitely leading the Dow and not just JP, but the whole banking sector. We talked about infrastructure plays, oil, whatnot, leading the way there as well. So JP Morgan still high side there. Anybody loading up on WFC? This would have been a better play for me off the absolute bottoms, I think, when you're looking at a percentage-wise gain. It didn't profile as well to me here as JP Morgan. However, you know, buying at 25, 35, now it's 30, 32. $25 would have been a great call there on Wells Fargo, that's for sure. Okay, Palantir there, coming back to life a bit now. So that was a good little bounce there off of 24 and change. So now we're right back to in the money. I'm going to cancel this order. I don't want to get out anymore. This is nice. So let's see, man. That was a nice little rejection down there. And again, you talk about chart patterns. We do have that video coming up. That's Valeric. Please drop that link. Chart patterns is available on our Market Wisdom page, as well as scalping. And that's what I do, man. I just scalp. And the only thing that I wish I didn't scalp too much, holy crap, it doesn't matter. I'm at the highest spot I've been at all day here today, and about where we were yesterday. But yeah, Roku, man. 330 all the way to 342. So yikes on that one. That just keeps on ripping up. Missed opportunity there on Roku, guys. Money talks with the big man at the big screen. Take it away, Brendan.
Hey guys, yeah, let's go to currency land. We'll discuss cryptos in a second. They are positive, but I want to touch on the top end of the board here first. The euro, the CAD, the British pound, all in negative territory. Finally, 0.5% for the British pound, in fact, all the way back to 135.5. We did get to 136.5, if you remember, a couple of days back. So you can see I threw it up on the chart here. Actually, 136.75 was the high, but trying to test these lows in the daily range. So a heads up if you are trading British pound or anything to do with that down today. US dollar strength coming back into play on the possibility of what's going to happen in Georgia. Canada, euro, as I mentioned, both in negative territory. Japanese yen and Swiss franc, as we've seen over time, these pop up to the upside when we get volatility moving higher in equities, and that is the case. So 0.6 and 0.3 for the Swiss franc. Australia, New Zealand also positive. Turkey, yeah, big move down as well. 1.5% for the Turkish lira. All of these, the cryptos at the bottom here, are positive. Ripple tried to bounce. It was up 20% early on. It's come all the way back to just 24.5. Bitcoin and Ethereum working to the downside as well. As I said, there were some moves in the pre-market this morning, but as soon as the equity markets open, they kind of slowed down and have been pretty choppy. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, we could still look at BTBT. That was another crypto name there that you brought to us a while ago. And yeah, we highlighted this early on. And yeah, I mean, you just mentioned it there, Brendan. A nice little move off the top here. If you were looking at this early, that's 7:30 a.m. So forget about that. But even once the market opened, the thing about trading these in the pre-market is if you do have a feeling or an opinion on Bitcoin, you can hit this in the pre-market. 28.60 still dropping down. Spot Bitcoin like 30, like Brendan just said, near 34.6. So you got to watch out. But I like BTBT. I know there's a lot of other names out there, Mara and whatnot. I'll tend to trade GBTC a little bit. We are up on that stock today, but that's, you know, again, big move from 42.70 all the way back down, getting to the downside right now. So I'd be careful on some of those. We have to look at XOM and some of the oil spots as well, as these just continue to rip.
I just like, I think it was Yuri on the chat here, so every now and then able to catch the names that scrolls through here, asking about Moderna. And I know we were playing off the rejection at 113 this morning. That was a good trade. And it's not that I've had this out before in front of this like opening range bottom and then watched Moderna go another $5 or $10. And the reason why I'll always continue to take it out there, or at least the bulk of the position, is just more often than not, a lot of times it'll bounce off that level again. You'll get a retest of the range, right? So you don't always want to bet for the home run on those trades. If you know a higher percentage of the time you're just going to take the safe win and go ahead and do that. At this time of day, against the market bouncing back to the upside, we're up 1%. It's retesting the high. It's slowly grinding. It actually picked up on volume when it bounced off the up. I don't love the short off this same level. I think playing it off of a high of day or a 115 break and being a little bit more patient with it, I should say failed break, would be a little bit better play. That's what I would wait for. I don't mind fading these ones when they go to the upside all the time. It's just that's literally the same move as we had before. And I would expect that A, probably wouldn't be as deep of a retracement even if it works. And then B, likely it breaks this level because it never even tested the pre-market high yet, and we are screaming to the upside overall. And ultimately, it was positive news on Moderna, and it's been getting that the last couple of days. So all that aside, I'm not going to be taking that same trade that we had off that level before.
I'm starting to develop like a little bit of a headache here. I don't know if these lights are too bright here. I guess they're not. They're the same as always. So we'll keep going here. Probably too excited early. But Peloton right back here, right to VWAP. So this is another name that I want to look at for you, and that is Peloton making moves now to the high side, possibly off that VWAP. So I talked about dumping some of these shares, and I am going to get out if it does break below 140 here. So it might be a good opportunity to take advantage of that move to the high side right now. Because again, I just think is Peloton worth, what is it, $40 billion or something? I mean, that seems to be a little bit rich for me, especially if they do not have a great report next. I guess the next report will be good. What I'm more worried about with the Peloton trade here, and I talked about this a little bit earlier, is the fact that what if they guide lower because of the fact that, Planet Fitness or some of these other Soul Cycle or whatever, people returning back to, the stomping grounds and going back and getting that actual physical touch, like feeling being in the gym, and a lot of people like that going. So I just wonder if Peloton maybe guides lower at some point. So I don't know. We'll wait to see on Peloton, but a good little trade there on a daily chart. I'm still looking at this 144.50 level to break if we're going to go long. But right now, the market pulling back in a little bit here. NASDAQ tried to get green.
So, Sean, speaking about pulling back, and I know we've probably been, at least I know I've been neglecting some of these, the more recent IPOs, and I'll talk about that group of three if you want. I just saw someone mention AI, and I'm like, yeah, I haven't looked at AI in a bit. C3 AI, that is, DoorDash, and of course, Airbnb. This is an interesting price because 115 was a level that I was watching. On the breakout, if you go back into the middle of December of last year, I didn't realize we'd actually broken through that today. So not necessarily the best look for C3i. It had been one of the stronger, if not the strong name when it came to that big three. But this is a deep and steep pullback. And if we actually can find a base off like a 110, maybe even like a 112 quarter, I can pull up the minute here just so you can see what it's done on the day. This would be that bottom at a 112.50. That's that quarter, of course. It's trying to make a base here. If it can, there's just a lot of room to come back off of this. Now, DoorDash, when it made a similar move, had like this daily level for like a week at $140 before it eventually it was trying to break through that over and over again and was a good scalp trade. I'm not saying that'll happen, but I'll be on the alert for any iceberg order I see that hangs out around this time of day for like afternoon bounce play. So C3 AI is starting to pull back a little too far in my opinion. I think there's going to be a buy opportunity. Above 115, I'd like a heck of a lot better than trying to bottom pick because that was a key level. But it's just so choppy. The volume's good, but the spread 25 cents. Look at these wicks. It's just all over the place. I'd love to see some stabilization and maybe a bit of an iceberg on the bid to play off of. But Sean, what's up?
Yeah, AMC, guys, deal here apparently. AMC going nuts right now. So we bought the top. It wasn't a huge position. I do want to try to average in. You see it was just sleepy, and now apparently financing deal possible here for AMC. So I'm going to go long and get out if it does break two. Here it comes right to the downside. So just want to bring that to everybody's attention. AMC right now starting to do volume and picking up quite nicely. We went long there and just a little bit out. We're not going to do much, but if it does break down below this 197, 198, we're going to get out. But right now, AMC looking to do something here. Big screen now, V.
Hey guys, European shares are mostly in positive territory. Georgia runoff remains in focus. Britain is up 3.67%. Italy is up 2.57%. and France is up 1.4%. Banks advance in Europe as a group along with the US ones. BNP Paribas trading in Paris is up almost 6%. Back to the traders.
Yeah, so on AMC here, guys, I just quickly went to the higher time frame. I mean, that's actually too far back. I just went to the higher time frame and saw this like 210 area, which was a bit of chop. It's a previous day's high. It was support before. When it dips back into this range, I'm going to start defending it all the way because a little bit of, like, they get financing. Usually, I'm shorting this. If I had a shot to short off of this level, 225, but again, I didn't see the news in real time. You had to have the ear to the ground, and of course, have seen that to take advantage of it to roll over. But this looks like anytime you get that positive news and it pulls all the way back in, and I have a second reason for liking it, yeah, I'll take this one in front of also yesterday's close of $198. So the reasons are lining up, and even the low of the day is only 197. So I'm buying here through 5s to 10s. And then going to use a previous low. Actually, low of the day here, this 197 instead of 2 even. I just like that a little better.
Yep, that's so same levels we just talked about right there. So yeah, I'm using that bottom right there, 197 to get out, and yeah, we'll average into this position here again at some point. So yeah, good trading today on AMC, but we'll wait to see. I mean, it's better trading right now because the volumes here. I don't have actually. We can call up the volume. Let me just show you what this looks like here, real quick. We have indicators. You can create. You can put whatever you want. I try to keep my charts as simple as possible. Why? Because it's working. That's why. Apply it. There you go. So here's the big spike there. I can keep this down here for you just so you guys can see that, but a nice little big spike there, which brings my attention over to it, right? So whenever you get that action, you can get it going. And you want to talk about getting a stock going here. I mean, does anything, honestly, stop Tesla? Okay, that's AMC chart still. But look at Tesla, guys. Takes out that day's high at 764, 766, like just still going. Watch out for the NASDAQ here, man. Tesla just going crazy right now, making new highs. Is NEO following suit? I don't think so. 53, okay, NEO bounces a little bit. There still are good out at 54, though. What's up, Beep?
Speaking of new highs, the 9, NCTY, just made one through $12 there on a volume spike now. For NCTY, recent highs. Remember, this one is tied to cryptocurrencies, guys. Quickly, AMC, nothing confirmed. It looks like a lot of rumors floating around on the interweb, but nothing actually confirmed for AMC.
Did you say the interweb?
Okay, so we are into AMC, and
it's a lot of news for it to be nothing. I mean,
yeah, if it's not
volume, I said. Sorry.
Yeah, if it's not confirmed, then it's not confirmed, and we'll just wait on that. And that's why I think we're pretty okay here using these bottoms, because I mean, if it's not confirmed, then maybe it just trades around here again, two and change. So we'll wait to see on this one, but I'm loaded up, so we'll wait to see on a move to the high side here on AMC. I still like it. We might punch into more right now.
Yeah, I mean, I like the levels on that pullback, because even if there's only a rumor, you have support both at that low of the day and then yesterday's close price. I'm just looking at that NCTY, and what a crazy move. I mean, I feel like this was the other day just such a fantastic rollover short. To see us breaking out is I shouldn't be surprised. I should not be surprised by this, but the word I want to use is a little bit shocked to see how deep this move has gotten. Just going by the last couple of gap ups, and again, this is what I'm going to work off of because I don't have any levels to see. You get this like 6 to 10 move with a sharp pullback. It's roughly like a 60% move from that support. If you sort of apply that same logic to this 9 range, you're going to get something along the lines of like a 1450, which is a bit crazy to me. Halfway to that is essentially close to right here. So it's not that there's anything hard to these numbers, but 1250 is going to loom. I'm going to like it at 14 if it gets to that a lot better for a bit of a reversal play, but we'll have to see what happens NCTY. This is not one I want to fight based on the liquidity I'm seeing on level 2. But if it rolls back below 12, that'd be probably a first test. And then 14 to 1450, I think is going to be watching in the afternoon or maybe even closer to lunchtime.
Okay, so we still are watching out here for AMC as it's starting to go back up a little bit. We did punch some more long 12s there. We punched some more long, 10s. We got long initially 11s. We initially took a trade up here, but then when it didn't start to go, we only took a 3-cent hit there, and then we got out a little bit more down there. That's why you see an average price still 17. Is it 17 or 18? 18, yeah, 17 and change round up. So let's wait to see what AMC does, but we're just kicking off our day here today. It's been a big one for us. We still have no LFT. We're at our highest spot. Position pending, though. I mean, obviously, I'm going to lose if this continues to go up or to go down. BNGO. Bingo was its name-o. I haven't traded that yet today, but I will have a quick look for you guys as I see a lot of talk here on the chat. So yeah, I'll give it a look. Okay, BNGO right now. So great consolidation spot right here. 540. Hell yeah, I like that break of 540. I think that could go then if you break 540. You do have a nice little view up there of 523. So BNGO 540 to the high side there. I do like that break, but then be smart about it and get out if it does drop through 520. So let's go long BNGO 540 break.
Yeah, I just asked Brendan if he saw anything on U1. I just saw it up 20%. Someone mentioning in the chat. With that stock, I just kind of assume that there's no news because that tends to be the case there. There's never anything. If it goes any further parabolic and maybe halts, I'll definitely be looking to play that one to the short side. I did get the dip buy on Fubo here off of VWAP. It retested that low. My stop is at 26.75, so it bounced off that without getting me out. So we do have this now range-bound trade, but 27.40 is going to be the average price. Ignore these wicks, but they conveniently enough are right up to 28. They're just dark pool prints. That would be the first leg I get out. The next one would be up around this opening flush price. So that's 28.50. High of the day stands above 29. I would certainly take some out there. And in the final quarter, I'd be looking to hold if it got to 30 even. Those are a lot of targets to the upside. The stop really is less than $1 here, guys. So it's like 75 to 90 cents, depending on what slippage is going to be. In Fubo, below that price, below 26.50 is where I think it might turn into a bit of a short play. And it is still down on the day, trying to turn positive here. You've seen what's happened to it, but if you haven't, this is the consolidation. It's a wide consolidation range, but the drop was over $35 on Fubo. So anticipating a wider consolidation range kind of should be expected. If it does break some of those lows for the short, you're probably looking at 22.50 to 22.75 before it finds another base.
Yeah, exactly. Those are some of those levels that we went over, and a good call there. Okay, still on that bingo. I don't think that broke, but there it goes. Now it's breaking, so nice little long here through 40. So we're long 41 on BNGO. We did talk about that, and you guys wanted it, so here we go. Let's go. We were also going to look at a short through VWAP if that does happen, but right now that'll have to be our out. So 540 long bingo. We'll see if we can get back into this level here, 560. I probably will take a little bit off 550 just because it's a 50 level, and that's what I do. So we will take a little bit off there, but then try to hold the rest for this 520 break. But right here, up to the upside goes bingo. So look, I've been trading everything today. AMC, marijuana stocks. You like that? Game stocks, DraftKings, Bitcoin, Ether. We've been trading that as well. Microsoft, monster winner there if you still have this one. Jesus. 213.50. Wow, what a move that was. You like the electric space. NEO, we're all over that today as well. Palantir, still holding, but nothing going on with that. Roku's now $13. Do we have a Roku? There it is. Roku, $13 winner, man. One of the ones I'm most proud of today, as I know a lot of you are looking at that as well. So congratulations to our viewers on the Roku call. What's up, Brad?
Ace Convergence. I mentioned this way back at the beginning of the show this morning, guys. This is in the semiconductor space. So this is a SPAC, but they are going to acquire this Achronix semiconductor, merge with Achronix to go public. So ACEV up 8% today, just popped up on a volume scanner. Also wanted to bring your attention to this one, Open Door, guys, another recent SPAC that recently converted to Open, 8% today as well, just broke 27.75 there on a volume spike, guys.
So I went over this, and I think it was for Yuri was the member that actually asked about Moderna here. It does make the break through 113, so you see actually consolidated for a bit, so maybe that was even worth a bit of a long. I wasn't looking for the long trade. I was looking for 115 to the top. It only got to 114.70, and this is going to happen. If I take this position, I actually had to talk about this with one of our traders saying, when you're making that trade, if you're going against the grain, whether it's buying the dip, if you have a target in mind instead of just looking for the turn visually, try to have an entry as close to it as possible. Allows you greater conviction in the trade. So that's what I try. Something like U.S. Steel, it makes you lose less money, certainly when it goes to that 20 and breaks through. Moderna's case here, it's going to end up looking like it was a bad decision because the turn comes and it gives you that nice dollar winner. So fretting about 10 cents seems like it's petty, but you got to stick to the plan and what works for you here. It's not to say that it's an obvious play, but one of the things that I pointed out when it was breaking off VWAP here was the pickup in volume on that bounce of buying. And then when you got the consolidation at 113, again, volume start. Oh, actually, you guys can't see that. Let me do this. So it's a really, really extreme. for you to see volume here. I know this looks crazy. But when it actually picked up, that consolidation, volume again was continuing to climb. And that's another reason not to like that same short from before. And that's why you see the test of 115. So you can like a price level, and it can be a good level for you there. And a lot of times you can rinse and repeat. But yeah, sometimes you want to have reasons why it will not work. That was the reason I did not jump back into Moderna, despite it actually being definitely easily my best stock today, because AIKI, no good for me. And ISR, which someone just asked about, and I was about to dip into this one again, that's been a bit of a mixed bag for me. Missing out on that 173 break was probably a frustrating trade, not getting that long trade, because I don't usually go long in these stocks, so not getting that trigger. I would have been out in front of 2 either way, so you're only looking like a 20-cent scalp, but on this stock, that's a good 10% move there. Either way, it looks weak now. It's still up 180%, but it has all kinds of trouble getting through VWAP. If it holds this consolidation, I'll probably play the 150s another time here, but I'm trying to be patient. The volume's really dying down. No need to jump in too fast into ISR, but it is on the radar, feeling like it's turned back weak, guys.
Okay, yeah, good talk there. I think ISR, good stock. I know a lot of you were looking at that off the open. So bingo was its name-o, 48 there. So 40 in, am I long 41s? Yeah, 41s out, some there at 48. So we'll watch and see what happens when it does come back to the downside there. I want to say what's up to Ghetto Trades, man. Sean, I don't know, this is what my wife calls me. Shawnee Shawns, you're the best. So thank you so much, with some DJ Khaled in there as well. Yeah, we like DJ Khaled, and I've actually had some funny memes about him I put on up on Twitter as well a couple times. So look, thank you for the nice talk there, but whatever. We're just going to keep on going. It doesn't matter what you think. Someone said, am I still long Fisker? Because I am, and that I should check it out. So I don't know what's going on with Fisker here. I have to find the price. Hopefully it's not down too much. No, it is not. Thank you so much. What, you guys want me to get elevated here, telling me about all these plays? Thank you so much for Fisker update there. Wow, it was up to 1580. A nice little 1%. Yeah, not doing anything. 1580. We'll watch out for Fisker. I think we're long 13 or 14 there on Fisker. Yeah, down and around here. STIC is the one that I'm more excited about. BarkBox, and then of course you guys know my love for the fintech space. So I also do like to look at BFT. So let's have a quick look at BFT. Of course, this is the SPAC that's going to turn into PaySafe. So, ooh, nice, $15. But we've been higher on this one. It's nice to see they're both up, but they're not up that much. What's up, Brent?
Yeah, just double checking, guys. Looks like, yeah, still nothing called officially yet on the second race in Georgia, but President-elect Biden has also just said that it looks like the Democrats will control both the House and the Senate. So even the President-elect saying that they have won both, guys.
Okay, so congratulations. Yeah.
And again, we talked about these headwinds today, and certainly looking like it was going to play out. And the market was sort of pricing that in the morning, so I guess we're not too surprised. AMC, and I'm assuming there's just nothing further here. It's still probably just rumors. There was this pop up into the 215 range, putting in a lower high. I thought maybe we'd get back to like 220 here on that little dip, but I like this consolidation at 10s. I can tell you that much. That's one of the levels we looked at in the daily chart. So if it can bounce off of this, the next time it goes up to 215, I'll probably still take some out. I got 209 as an average price, so it's a $2 stock, so 5, 10, 15 cents in terms of targets and exit points for your shares. Not a bad idea as a day trader, so if it does bounce off this consolidation, I'll take more out of 215, and then probably some in front of 220. The volume is coming down here, but the fact that it's holding highs is certainly a good sign. There's always room for like an actual confirmation of this story, which would definitely give it another bump to the upside, of course. The opposite remains true as well. If there is some kind of a denial and saying that this is, not going to be that big of a deal when it comes to, I guess, the financing they got. Because I didn't see the details when it came to the numbers on this, Brennan. If you did, just let me know.
Okay, and guys, here it is again, bingo, again, just another one there. We continue to trade every single name, big cap, small cap, shorts, longs, whatever, man. I mean, there's bingo, just another win for us on the upside there. What the? I don't know why it turned that. Oh, it's a part fill there at 48, but we got out. So we'll have to reinvestigate that. But we still are in it. So we still are in BINGO here. It's not BINGO, but bingo right now. Still to the upside. I'm still using this 20 as a drop spot there, just in case it does refresh back down to the downside there, but we'll see. I still have hopes that we can get out in the 50s on this name, so looking good there. My last AMC buys, 11s and 12s, okay. Our last out was 14. We're still long 17, so let's see if AMC can get going. The market's rallying, guys. I mean, like I just saw someone talk about in the chat, a Georgia win also going to add to the stimulus package. I mean, once they can get that all approved and pushed through, I mean, more money for everybody there in the U.S. In my opinion, all they're doing is lighting their own currency on fire, but they've been doing that for a while. What's up, Brendo?
Okay, guys, so there's an update here for this AMC. Just double checking on AMC. I'll bring this over and show you this. It's the Dow Jones reporting this, that they are in talks, their UK unit, Odeon, to borrow up to 300 million pounds, British pounds, from a number of different sources, including Apollo. So I'll keep reading through this, but so it is actually confirmed. The Dow Jones now reporting that. It was just a couple of minutes ago that their UK unit specifically talking to a number of different possible sources, including Apollo. Guys.
And as you said that, Brendan, I just got some midpoints to the long side here. 1050, 210, I like that level. Of course, on the dip, playing up towards it. I just scalped them out at 213, and I feel like going to stick with the same frame of mind here. If it gives you 5-10 cents at a time, definitely going to take it. It just broke down, so maybe people selling on that news, as we just mentioned. But we do have, and just go to the higher time frame, which I always think you should, just to show you what we have is the pre-market top here at 204, 205. You also have both the current low of the day, 197, and yesterday's close at 198. Certainly there for a little bit of support, and that's a look at a chart. And I feel like it's probably not a bad time to let you guys know. Hey, look at that. Charting for beginners. We use charts all the time. Look, most people, if you're watching the stock market, your lens is likely the majority through a chart. We look at level 2s all the time, of course, with direct market access, but the starting point for most of you is going to be that chart. We talked about the basics, got into a few charting patterns here or there. It's a little bit longer of an education segment than we were doing previously, so do check it out. I think it's a good video to watch. Actually, it's a bit of an idea here. One of the things you guys should do, and it's just a suggestion, in the comment section, if you think there's things we should expand on, we can do like part 2s of these videos or new topics. Just throw them in the comment section of the video. It's a good way to let us know directly. If you throw it in the chat here, that's great as well. But right in the comments of those videos, we're likely to catch it a little bit better and make sure we get to that. So whether it's suggesting a future topic or something we could have clarified within the video, just throw it in there, guys, and we'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, exactly. We're all about more topics. Give us to us, guys, and we will post those up and do our best for you on everything topical, hopefully, that you guys want to see. So we did get some more AMCs there at 06. I don't know, man. I'm kind of falling asleep a bit again, like we said, with this trade. Nice move down. Like Neil mentioned, we're going to load up every time that does happen. And by load up, I mean, we do have some shares. We won't give our day back or anything if this does break, because again, although that's nice from the Dow Jones, you do not want to go all in on possible rumors. But I guess if it gets halted, then that would probably be a good sign, because hopefully information request, and then we'll go to the upside from there if they come out and say, yes, there is something there. So I still will drop. I mean, my average price is getting better now, 15.8, 15.8, 215.8 or 215.8 is the call there. So we'll wait to see on that one. But right now, that's what we're doing, man. And we're watching bingo. Good couple outs there at 48. We said we'd watch out for that 50 level, but it looks like this one may fail to the downside. And bingo is its name. What's up, Beep?
Okay, so here's a negative spin on this. AMC's chief executive still saying that the company is still hunting for 550 million. So in addition to the 300 that they're talking about from the UK, they still need up to 550 million, guys.
Well, poo. Well, that's not. Well, I mean, I guess that's not too much of a surprise. Clearly, they're in a bit of trouble here.
I need that much too.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, it doesn't hurt. Actually, look, I just got into position in MindMed, and I actually talked about this, in the afternoon a couple of times. That this stock, if I can just pull it up here, if every single time I pull this up and look where the reversals are, if I go to look at the final week or the previous week, it's just sort of obvious where these turns can be. Like, look at this and it's 407. There's no significance to 407 other than the fact that, okay, opens up here, tests 407 as a high, and then fails. The next pre-market, I mean, the exact same price at 930 is the top. And then you get this bounce up, which is like an 80-cent move. You're talking 25%, and then it turns at 407. Like, are you kidding me? So am I going to short off 407 stop? Yes. Am I going to get out when it gets around to VWAP because it's an obvious retracement? Sure, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So again, I've seen this pattern, and like one time in the last 2 weeks have I taken advantage of some of these levels that I've seen on MindMed. And I'm going to be I'm trading this over here on the NEO exchange. So these are Canadian prices. You can see the .to there, guys. So Canadian stock, and we've talked about it before in the past. But just to set up that on the 15-minute chart here, looking at the last week, has been pretty good. So dipping into some shorts at 4 even. Remove liquidity because I didn't want to wait around for it. Good thing I didn't wait because it's already starting to go. I'll probably only take 5 to 10 cents off of this if it does give the reversal I'm looking for, guys.
We're just relaxing here, trying to figure out their next plan of action right now. We're watching Bio Nano. We talked about that already. SNDL. Let's go over and check out some of these marijuana plays. CGC, like we were looking at this 3180, still up 12.5, but coming back down now, which is kind of silly. Not silly, but we do always talk about where you buy the rumor, sell the news, right? I mean, now you would have thought that since the runoff there, and it looks like now it's going to be Democratic. Senate, at least 50-50 with Kamala settling things, that would have gone. But you do see the big move up here early. That's why we hit it early. We really haven't traded it since. I was looking at this 3180 break on that, but that didn't come through yet. But anyways, that's that name.
Sean, not to interrupt here, but I mean, I didn't see this comment, but William Kai Alexander, if I buy a membership, I want a shout out from Cosmonaut Valeria. I mean, that is the least we can do. Now, on top of that, I want to make sure if you do get that membership, make sure you come into our Q&A that's coming up on Monday. Arun's going to be stepping in, so there is that benefit. But hey, of course, if you ask for a shout out from Valeria for becoming a member, of course we're going to give that one to you. The Cosmonaut stuff, I don't know. I guess yeah, that makes sense. Why not, Valeria? We talked about Russia. I've been avoiding the whole Valeria's from Russia, and she got beat up on that bet because Team Canada didn't win last night. They got outclassed. It was a fantastic showing, especially by the goalie. I don't know his name on the U.S. team, but he was standing on his head basically all night. So kudos to them for winning the gold medal. That's why I can't talk hockey today.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so why don't we go to Valeria then if she wants to, and she can shout out. He's not a member. Who cares? Shout him out anyways. You can shout that out. There's Valeria. What's up, V?
Dear William Kai Alexander, shout out to you. And here's Astronaut Dance.
Oh, how many? 2K. Okay, 2K likes there. Not as many as normal for the likes, but good job there. Thank you, Valeria, for that. And guys, I mean, if you want to become a member, it's up to you. We do the show for free. We appreciate all the support. It's $4.95 a month, and what that does is get you into hopefully twice a month, but it's every other Monday, so at least twice a month. We'll be doing a one-on-one chats with our members where you can throw us any questions you want, and you'll be invited into that chat. So I'll give you, like I said, I've been giving lots of long-term plays out, and I don't know, call me out if none of them have been successful. One that I've looked at right here that really isn't going is Rocket. I think with some refinancing, mortgages and whatnot, I still believe in Rocket, but we are long this name in the 20, I think it was 21. We'll look again where we're long on Rocket, but yeah, just because we were thinking about it breaking out here, it didn't break out. So we got some baby longs in here just in case for the breakout, but we still have to be very, very careful about a break to the downside, break through $18 there. And you know what? It looks like right now AMC's trying to go with building these bases. I mean, look at this. If you want to play here, possibly on a reopen, this may be one for you, especially if they can get that financing all figured out. I mean, $2 was the low in March. We're right back there right now. So I still think the possibility for this thing to blow up upside is quite strong. So I am looking for a AMC bounce off $2, especially with some of that news. Yesterday's big play for me, QS. Long 52.50. Once again, guys, chicken dinner winners for anybody holding that one. I need the show to hurry up and end. My headache seems to be getting worse here. I need some of those good drugs.
The good stuff. I'm just gonna let you guys know that MindMed's starting to roll over. That's a bit of a coincidence there, but I don't think the psychedelics will help you out that much. FCell, I did get wicked out on the last dip down, but it is retesting those highs, 1270. This could also be a breakout play, so you can play it the other way, bouncing off VWAP. I did say let it travel through VWAP and then have a stop below that, not at VWAP. Unfortunately, here in this particular case, I didn't quite give it enough room because it dipped down below, and then I didn't make bottom wick, but certainly if I just hung on a little bit deeper, it would have worked out. It's been a nice pattern, but 1270 looking like an afternoon break. Brennan?
Just had an alert on this one. Not sure why I missed this today, but Foot Locker, guys, having quite a day. Just made a day high and a 52-week high on decent volume as well. Just double check. This one doesn't report until the first week of February 2nd, I want to say, but we are starting to get into reporting season once again. So let's have a look at a few names coming up as far as earnings are concerned, all in the same group. Well, no, Constellation Brands there, but yeah. Walgreens and Bed Bath & Beyond as well.
WBA,
baby.
Yeah, Walgreens Boots Alliance. I like that one. That never moves, so it's not super exciting to me. Wow, QS just continues to go. Bed Bath & Beyond. We do know that they have a. Wow, they report. Okay, Brendan, give us the shortable interest on this name. Last time, again, I'll make the same call again on Bed Bath & Beyond, but. Understand that I made the call down here and I said, guys, get options because people will get squeezed. So their last earnings report, October 6th. You can go back. It was this day right here. You can go back and talk about this. This was a monster day. We got a hell of a lot of love and a hell of a lot of respect from the viewers for these calls that I made right here because it was going to get short squeezed. And we already saw the retail sector going ham at that point. So you know what? We'll wait to hear from Brendan, but the shortable interest on BBB, oh, there he goes, he has it. There, thanks for that in our chat. 57% short. Oh God. So yeah, get ready for this thing to blow the hell up through 2230 here. If it takes that out, man, watch out. But again, I just wonder right now, could they miss possibly? So I would just watch out for that miss as well. But you know what, a put call spread, something like that on BBBY, this thing will move tomorrow, guaranteed. Let's just see what happens. So I do like that one. Bio Nano trying to make moves back to the upside. I'm going to hold this one probably all day until we break down back down below that 520 level right here. We've got out a couple times there, so we're in the money nicely on that one. And then AMC, you all know about that. Let's see how high this one goes. We're long at 15 with a decent position on.
I just want to come back, and we only have a couple minutes to go here, guys, before the end of the show. And obviously, it's been certainly an interesting one, and the market is still screaming towards those highs. Watch out for fuel cell if it does give a bit of a break. But I wanted to go to Fubo. It's going to be a frustrating stock, but I am probably going to take another shot at some point longing this one. I just got wicked out, and I made the bottom wick here. I can go to the 1 minute and show you. Able to make bottom wick on this little pullback. So very similar to fuel cell. It's like give it some room past VWAP, but just not quite enough. It is also now testing a bit of a breakout. Now, ignore these little wicks up here. This top is approximately like 27.65 or so. That would be sort of the breakout price. I would much prefer to be buying around VWAP and then giving it to this 26.50 low, guys. So Fubo and fuel cell looking like they could be making a move to the top. Fubo wouldn't be breaking highs. FCell would actually be breaking the high of the day specifically.
Okay, so 11:30 has come. Well, we'll be here very, very shortly. I want to thank everybody for watching. It's been, once again, a fantastic show. Thank you to Mark Roberts as well for coming up early with us. He'll be there tomorrow. What day is today? Wednesday. So tomorrow's Lewis, one of our good friends from our Barcelona office, will be checking in with us then as well. And again, I mean, I keep shouting out people here on the chat. I don't know where that last one. No, NCTY. We can look at that in a minute. We're almost done. Someone was just saying about thank you for those JP Morgan calls. And you know what, man? I mean, look, sometimes it's easy. And I mean, here goes JP. I don't have it today. This would have been a fantastic break right there at 1:30. I'm surprised I didn't put that on. But yeah, 4.5% up from some of those levels that were already long, man. It's just been a fantastic day. Tesla, I'm long at that, like $300 pre-split. So it's just been a fantastic day. All the PA accounts working as well as here. We now go 3 for 3 in January to go with 3 negative days in December and 3 or 4 in November. Let's see if we can't keep it going. But join us tomorrow for sure. Is it Valeria time? It is. Let's go.
Hey guys, thank you for another great morning together. Hope it was productive for you, and please don't leave without hitting thumbs up, as we need just 100 more likes to reach 3,000 of them. Well, we will see you tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and happy National Shortbread Day. Ta-da!
Oh, National Shortbread
Another
Day.
thing I get,
We're not
I got a call
shorting
from-
bread.
Short, I'd shortbread, and I actually did shortbread in my own personal diet. One of the easiest things to take out, whatever, I'm not going to get into health reasons. But anyways, shortbread I feel is overrated. Getting likes and putting a smile on Valeria's face is not. So thank you very much, of course, for all the support. We do love the likes. For any of you that became a member, do not forget to tune in on Monday. We're going to have our Q&A session in the afternoon. It is 11:30. Always keep your ear to the ground for some news. Of course, we're tracking AMC for some to see if there's a secondary push to the upside there, and any further confirmation of how that vote is going. Certainly, you're seeing how it plays out in the market today, as the ES is still trading on its highs. For the entire team, for Ms. V, doing the astronaut dance and giving the shout out. For my man Sean Katina, for Brendan Wickens, I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.